Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dawn World. If you haven't seen our previous episode, make sure to check out episode 38 for the first portion of the showdown with Raylog and Dothra's uncle, which is what we will be finishing up today. But just a little bit of a review of what led into the showdown here in the village square. Upon challenging Kudo for the right to lead as High Chief, Raylog and the rest of the party, excluding Sybil, made their way to the center of Heartmount, where a fighting ring was formed by a mix of orcs and the village populace. Sybil, on the other hand, made her way to the village barracks, hoping to free any prisoners that may be within. She was successful at doing so after convincing the guards that were standing outside to leave their posts and to go watch the spectacle going on at the center of the village. It was then discovered that Kudo, Raylog, and Dothra's uncle had no intention of letting Raylog set the terms of the fight, but rather took matters into his own hands and made it a one-on-one fight after subduing Dothra, Toravine, and Kara. As the fight progressed between Raylog and his uncle, it became clear that Kudo seemed to have the upper hand and may have just been toying with his nephew before finishing Raylog off. However, before the end came, Raylog was visited by an unknown individual who seemed to want to help him, but before doing so wanted to make sure Raylog was certain where he drew his strength from. Once satisfied with the answer that Raylog gave him, the visitor healed Raylog and gave him access to a new ability to help him in his fight against his uncle. It was at this point that the tide of the fight turned, where Raylog displayed a level of ferocity that stunned even Kudo, and thanks to the intervention of the undiscovered scouting party from the Living Tree Forest, the rest of the party was able to join the fight after being freed and joined the fray. And we are now picking up midway through that fight. I will switch this over here. So, let me switch the music.
Mr. GM,
Yes.
our friend is with us.
Can you put it on speaker?
I think it's already on speaker, but because the microphone button just makes me
Go
mute it or not mute it. So
Okay. I guess we will see as we go here. All right.
Can you say something? All right, the cam. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to make sure that our sound was good on your end. Okay. All right. I think
we can
Colton
turn
should be able to hear you.
Yep.
I've got this mic on. You want me to put it between me and Kevin?
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you gonna be able to send like the top-down shots?
Yeah, I can do that with my phone.
Okay.
Well, Colton's phone does the video.
That Colton sent me before all of this was really helpful.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And last time we finished the round, so we were picking up right at the top of the round with Dothra starting off this round. At this point, Kudo is definitely looking harried, looking bloodied, looking like he is getting close to the end of his rope and like things might be coming to a close. He's got that little bit of craze in his eye of maybe looking for a way to get out of the fight or to get away to possibly heal or something. So, but we are picking up with Dothra with Festus on deck. I'm guessing Mr. Church, you're probably going to have to do rolls for her since she's going to be muted.
She doesn't have access to.
So, but Festus will be on deck. So, what are we doing, Dothra?
She will attack again.
Okay.
Her attacks.
and she has a her weapon has been
Right. So I
imbued or
have
empowered.
what, +4 to hit and +2 to damage.
This is for you. You have one, Mr. Church? Laser pointer?
He does.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Alright, so attack. And there's bless up as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It gives a +2.
So she hit a 19.
Against Kudo?
Yes.
Yes, that hits.
And then the next one after that was a natural 18, so I mean that would hit too.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
squared
hits.
away.
Yep.
So she'll roll damage. So she did 25 with the first one.
Okay.
That is slashing. And then she did. She did 28 for the next one.
Okay. 28, you said.
Yeah, 28 slashing.
I don't think I have Festus' battle chart. I have Sybil,
Oh, there we go.
and I have her horse. Alright, so she's level...
Is it just Festus then?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
looking for Festus.
Yes, it's Festus and then.
Okay. He's back.
The
Or yeah,
Dogs.
you would have gone with at the same time as Festus. I forgot. Festus was in the fight before you were. And I
Yeah.
think I just had you go in with where Festus was.
Oh, okay. What kind of, like if I want to talk to the dude in front of me, and make an intimidation check, would
You'd
that
like
be
him.
an action?
Yes, it would be your action to do so.
Okay. If I remember correctly, he tried to sway at me twice and he whiffed both
Yeah.
times. I'm just going to tell him, hey, I don't think you're very good at this. This isn't your fight. You should probably stand down before you get hurt. And try to convince him to not fight. I'm going to kind of just walk around him casually. Not maybe combat space with him, but just going to kind of walk around.
Alright, so Charisma.
Festus is going to attack the guy that Coraline is fighting behind Rayla.
Okay, I will move Festus.
Are you on ability check with Charisma?
Yes, do a check for me for charisma.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't forget the +2 because of my ring.
Yep.
Oh, for Charisma.
I think it adds a difficulty modifier if I
So
remember
I think
correctly.
it should be
Oh,
like
against your
16
wisdom.
+2.
Okay.
So
Alright.
16 or 14.
Alright.
for Tuesday.
Well, I rolled a 3. So that's a flawless.
Okay. He kind of watches you, takes in what you say, and watches you, but does not.
Act.
Doesn't seem like he's dropping what he's doing, but at the same time, he's not. He's mulling it over.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Festus, go. Do we have a battle chart?
I don't have a battle chart for Festus. I just have your character sheet and a horse.
Like I think it's something like a +5 to whatever you roll on the die. 'Cause he's dying behind.
We can go off of that. That's fine.
+5 to your roll
Might be
is
+4.
your
Yeah.
Okay. So 12 and 5 is 17.
That would hit. Yep.
Okay.
Do you know how much damage he usually does, Kim?
I think it's 40 43 times 2 plus 4.
43. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll just use 2. Alright, that's 2. 3. 43 plus what? I'll write it down.
43 times 2 plus 4.
Okay, and then one more. Four ones, imagine it. Okay, so it's 8, 12 points of piercing. It's piercing, right? It's not slashing.
I think it's slashing.
It is slashing? Okay.
Yeah, merciless talons.
Okay. Alright, so it's 12 points of slashing.
12 against number 2. Okay. All right, and Sybil did her turn, and we have Kara and Oak with
I
Layla.
didn't use my bonus action.
Oh,
Wait, no, that's not what I wanted to do.
go for it, go for it.
That's what I want to know. Bonus action, I'm going to bless Donthra and Raylon with the dragon.
Okay,
The dragon blood.
what does that give them?
+2?
They get a +2 to attack and damage.
Oh, and damage.
Mm-hmm. It's a big boy.
Yeah, that's. It's like having a blessed eye,
Mm-hmm.
even if you have a blessed eye.
But that does not imbue your weapons. That's
No,
an
it's the
aerial.
aura.
It's more of an aura, but it's
It's not considered a blessed
it goes off in a certain radius that she can see, I think.
Yes,
But then it sticks with you for the duration.
it's
not.
assigned.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
assigned to
Yeah.
individuals, but it's.
So it's
not
just the
your
idea you
weapon,
get
that's-
damage with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my turn.
All right. So we have Kara and Oak,
It's like she's biased.
and Oak is
He's down for the count.
yes, he is unconscious if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, he's kind of been taking a nappy do, the way he always do.
Well, you might be going
When
towards
we
the
need-
light.
When we need him the most.
I believe he is.
You have a
In the
con
words
system
of
shot for him?
someone we just talked to, don't go to the light. Don't go to the light. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see what we can do.
Is she gonna do a con system shock for him, or just say he's just unconscious?
Yeah, he's not bleeding out or anything.
Okay,
He just
so he's stable.
Zero.
Flatline.
Zero
He's
de
just.
Niro.
Yeah. I think he might have hit a few negative life points maybe from the attack, but I don't think it was. It wasn't enough to kill him. But
No vive today. Okay. But I'm still rocking and kicking, so here I come. Alright, I'm not under any extra blessings or anything right now, am I?
there is a bless, I think, from
I have
Turbine?
30 feet.
Torvine and Ariel.
Okay, I wasn't sure if
Yes.
that was still applicable or not.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
It is now. Okay.
6.
Um,
You're 35 feet from him, so you would be in the radius.
Okay, so I get a plus
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time.
Oh yeah, it's been.
+2 to hit.
Okay. I'm in melee mode.
So it'd be double that. So you would just be in the radius.
I am in melee mode right now, and I am wielding. So,
So who's up to deck now?
me.
Raylog is on the deck,
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you meant who's
and
in
then Torvine
Okay.
after that.
Wasn't looking.
Oh, that's too.
Alright. Plus the 2. That's a 12.
Hey Kevin, you want
And
12?
then does she have a plus for like size difference?
Yes, it's a +1 because he is large.
Oh. Okay, then in that case, that's a 13.
That hits.
It's too bad you can't
Better.
hold your action to swing, and I'll bless it, and as soon as I touch it, that's your cue to swing
Okay. And I have a
after I go.
23.
Then you do full damage at half.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's dose,
Just see if
dose,
he'll do
and
it.
roll for damage.
I feel like if you did, it'd only be one swing.
It's your primary arm. That's 2 swings.
That's 9.
Your secondary, you get 1
And-
extra swing.
You think you don't want
No,
hold one swing?
it's not on
Oh,
you.
it's
It's the idea
bad.
you're holding back your action, your fighting action turn
That's 12
until
points of damage. And
I
the next
bless
one is mine.
you.
Okay.
Then so I bless
I
it.
mean, I'm
you
not
get
gonna
your
know
full
you're gonna
action.
do that unless you say something.
12
Yeah, I would
points
say
and
so.
8 points.
I can't remember if I said that
20
on my
points of
sentence.
damage.
Because I remember saying
Okay.
something.
I don't know if your character.
Then the
That's what I mean. I don't know what my character said. I don't have the
All right.
clip.
Oak is down, so go to Raylog with
Yeah.
Torvine.
But I'll get you. I'll get you next turn.
Torvine on deck.
I'll just run up and touch it after you're done, and then
GM has figured something out. He's decided to move. his
Alright,
stand
so
for the
Raylog's
elections.
going to do his
Buffer.
swings.
Oh, I usually have it over here.
it's just not as flat. It's a different
There's
angle.
been lots of times it's been over there.
That's probably.
Well, I wanted to put this camera over here so that I actually had more room than I usually do, but then
Okay,
I
you got
catch
a
this
natural
camera. and-
20.
Cool. It's a good way to
And then
start
he
off.
hit a
He got a
20.
natural 40.
Yeah, so the first one was a mix. It was like an 8 or a 10. Then I got a natural 20, and then I had a 20 on the battle check.
Okay.
So the one's double damage? No,
Yes.
triple.
Triple.
I didn't mean to shortchange it. I apologize. You're gonna need it.
Or I guess the first one was a 12. I don't think that would have hit, but
No.
I missed that.
No,
An additional.
I think you need an 18.
So I have.
Where's the bad guy? I
Where
don't see him.
it's fierce, and then it's. Okay.
Is that Uncle?
Yeah.
So Raylog's standing on the sword. Because it's sort of like sandwiched between them.
Yeah, it's in this area right here.
Yeah. Okay.
So he did 49 on the first one, 49 bludgeoning. And then he did 22 on the next one, bludgeoning. Then he will be tumbling.
Oh, that's right. He turned around and attacked me because I taunted him after I hit him, and he turned around. He attacked me. Okay, good. Infestus is attacking the one I was fighting.
Okay.
You're still close to bloodied.
Yeah, he'd be unbloody.
Looking at you. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm on deck. I'm up.
Yes, Torvine.
Okay. I would like to move from here, walk around his standard, and be next to. Yep. So I didn't leave, and I will, as he's hanging onto his right primary weapon, I will touch it and bless and imbue it.
Okay.
You have the choice. As you feel the tingle up there, you can have the +2 added to your attack, or a +2 added to your damage, or split it in half. So it's
1 and 1.
well, 1 and 1 added, but the base is +1 on both. That's the base, and the 2 can be applied to any part of it.
Okay.
So it's a +1 to hit and +2 to damage. You have a random 2 you can put anywhere. You can split it or put 2 all in one spot. Which one do you want to do? So +2 to hit.
So I can make a +3 +1.
Yes.
No, I'll probably do that.
Okay. All right. All right. And while he's doing that, I will use a bonus action, and I will do quick heal on him. So your primary weapon you do 2 swings with. That's what's blessed. And let me look at my quick heal. So that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. All right.
Okay, it's 2d4.
That is the end of Torvine's turn.
Oh, good.
All right.
6, 7, 8.
He's just gonna go into claws. claws.
14. Oh, the ring gives me plus 10.
Yeah, I'm in the 20s, so I'm pretty sure that hits. He's going after Raylog right now.
Okay.
And then one final one. Yeah, that's like a 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this slashing hitting him?
Yes.
You gave me that extra minus.
Alright, you get 24 points of healing from me. So 24 healing.
Okay.
And I'm down 2 more power points.
$52 total across the 3 hits.
Oh, 3 hits.
52 slash across 3 hits.
At least he has minus.
Those of you that are mainly Dafra and Raylog, since you guys are facing him head on, and Torvan, you would see out of your peripheral a faint red hue just faintly cover his body just for a moment. Just
Was there an origin?
you did not see an origin.
So Raylog's back.
But you see a faint red aura just kind of go from like the top of his head and just kind of go down across him, and you see some of his wounds
Start to
heal up a little bit more. A little faster than it has been during the battle.
That wasn't me.
Say that again. It was from what? Did we see?
You don't
like-
know. You did
Oh, we
not
don't
see
know.
an origin.
Some red
You just
energy.
saw a red, just a slight red hue. Just
Where normally the hue that we've been seeing is green. Whenever there was a battle cry or a fear concept, a
Mhm.
green popped up that flashed. But this is a red, and he seemed to heal from this red glow.
Does my uncle give the impression that he did this versus it's being from someone else? Is that something that we
Like
can
he
tell?
showed an energy, like he like used an inward.
you did see that earlier on though, like when you displayed that ferocity or whatever, like, and he backed off. Like before he went back in to start attacking you, you did see like a little bit of like a fighter, like
Inside
okay,
correction.
like yep, like okay, getting ready to go at this again, and he already has fast healing already, which resembles that of like what Sybil has. But this seemed like he focused more inward to try to help that and focus that, which seemed to help heal him even faster. But it was just like a brief momentary thing.
Right, so it's like he did it.
But
It's not.
Yes, but that was them. This seems like something different.
Oh.
There was no hue or anything. This was more of like an inward like.
So he still did it.
Yes, but this
Okay,
was
that's
like
what you want.
this was like
Right,
the turning
that's it.
point of the battle.
If,
That's fine.
if it's something I
Yeah,
can determine.
right. That's
Yeah,
what
no.
he wants to know.
This
Yeah.
this is something totally different. Nothing
Yeah.
like this. Everything that you've been seeing is either natural or
Yeah.
his Brutum Morbis,
Mhm.
or his Morbis, I should say, not Brutum Morbis, but his Morbis healing, or some item on him besides his sword doing something.
Okay.
But nothing red other than the only thing that you've seen red this far is the sword that he dropped whenever he transformed. So
So something different, but he's still activating.
yes.
And that's what you want. So we don't know there's some guy 30 feet away, I'm healing him from a distance, like what I'm
Right.
doing for you. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be.
No.
All right. We are to the other people's turn. So now we
The
have.
Other
others?
people.
So is he not bloodied anymore?
No, he's still bloody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it didn't.
It helped.
It wasn't as bad as
Yeah.
when you came back and like gained like 3/4 of your life points or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that.
Well, even when he healed me, I was not bloodied anymore, but now I am. I'm like
Because the other guy
just bloodied because of the damage he did.
Because he decided not to hit me, went after you.
Were you too far away?
I'm right next to him. I didn't leave his combat.
Kara, this is against you.
I just walked on the
Oh,
other side of
thank
him
you.
next to you, so I could touch your weapon. So he decided to touch you instead of me.
That's a 20. And I don't think an 8 hits you.
What?
I don't think an 8 hits you.
An 8 does not.
Okay, it does
My
20.
DR
He's a
is
14.
What a 20 does? Okay. You take
No, 20.
14 points of slashing damage as he takes a large sword, a long sword made for a Vigon, and swipes across you.
And any damage negation, make sure you take it off that.
All right, this one turns and swings at Torvine.
This one who? Oh.
He was fighting you before.
Oh yeah, I thought. Okay, so the other guy swung at
I shall not die.
him.
18 and 19.
Miss.
Okay. And I think that is.
And I almost used a bonus action.
This one is halting his action based off of what Sybil said. Kara and Sybil make an awareness check for Sybil, and Kara an awareness check for me.
I'm sure a 33 passes. For Sybil.
And awareness. Gotta remind
Yeah,
myself
she has a
of my
75, I
numbers.
rolled a 33.
Okay.
Okay.
She's not flat-footed then.
Well, how did I do?
You did good. So snipers on the hill are shooting at you.
Oh wait, I picked the wrong kind of dice. I was like,
Yeah.
why is that number
Two
so
tens.
big?
Two tens.
Two
Two
tens,
tens.
Why is that number so big? I still fail.
Okay, so you take your deck, whatever your DR is, minus your dex from that.
Okay, my dex is
Your
Your bonus.
Your bonus. You
For
should have it
defense
on.
rating.
Go to your
four.
go to your battle
oh, wait,
chart.
you lost 4 of them.
go to your battle chart.
Yes,
And
I know
then-
my DR score.
Yeah, but then there should be a dex
My
bonus.
dex mod is +4.
Okay, so it would be whatever your DR is minus
So
4.
it's 10.
So
10.
10. All right. So this should be a 17 and an 18 to hit.
Both hit.
Okay. Does that hit Sybil? 17 and 18.
No. She has a 9.
So it's 17 and 18 off of me.
Both of you.
Because I have the dragon up.
Yeah, she has a dragon up, so she's more. Your base is a 19, but she has 18, but she has a. So she's a 20.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much damage?
I'm working on it here. Give me a
Oh, okay.
second.
I was hearing so many numbers. I'm like, am I supposed to be doing the math? Kevin is enjoying this too much. Shut up, Bygonian!
22 points of piercing damage as 2 arrows from
No need
off
to get
in this
graphic.
direction,
22 is 22.
and you see 2 figures just barely poking up over the top of the.
I hate that.
Are they ugly?
They look like orcs.
Okay. Yeah.
They're poking up
Poking
over
up
the
over
roof
the
line.
rooftop, and
Where?
2 arrows seem to come
I
from
shall poke them.
to Kara and 2 to Sybil. And Sybil, having not to worry really about being attacked by the Vigon, wasn't as distracted as Kara, and ends up hearing that
What are you saying?
as the arrows are coming up, and turns and puts a shield up, and
Dice rolls.
both of them
Stop
deflect off.
talking about it.
All right.
You want to be
Dothra,
center of
we
attention?
are at the top of the order again.
I
Dothra
have
with Festus
22 points of
and
damage
Sybil
on.
on deck.
Festus is attacking the one that attacked me, right?
Yeah, he was on
Okay.
this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Festus needs to do better.
So we have Dothra, and then Festus on deck.
Yeah. Festus is gonna
Did
flank
you-
him next
did
time.
you forget about that? What are you looking for?
Actually, Festus gets a +2.
You missed everyone on
So he gets a
purpose when
7.
I crawled through the background.
It's alright, I have this random head behind me now.
She's not staying.
You cannot escape me.
Okay, I didn't hear that, Kimberly. What's Festus doing?
What?
Technically, he like died. So when he dive bombs, he goes down. When he goes back up, circles around and does
I
it
don't
again.
need.
Well, right, but
Just
it's
stay in place.
but it's the angle he comes from is still
Oh.
he's not a missile attack.
Alright, Dother.
And he gets a
Never really.
+4 for his die bomb.
So the first one, I think Dother hit a 12, which I would think
That
would
misses.
miss. And then the next one, I mean, it's like 20 something.
Yep.
Let me look at the battle chart here. Oh yeah.
So then she did 24 slashing,
4.
and her weapon's blessed.
Okay. Festus and Sybil.
Festus will die bomb from the backside of that guy compared to where I am.
Sure does.
Well, he was at an angle. He's directly behind now because I moved. Okay.
Festus is a bird, but he's a smart bird.
Yeah.
I don't have any pictures, so I can't tell.
Pretty
Right.
bird, pretty bird.
17 plus 4, 5, so that's a 22.
Hits. Yep.
Okay. These are D3s. I can't roll good. There they are. There's 6, 7, 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 4, 20 points of slashing. Made up for my little one. It was 12 last night.
Okay.
Does he still look fairly fresh?
Oh no. Oh, he's bloodied.
Okay.
He's been bloodied.
All right. I like the sound.
Let's just say there's a reason why I went ahead and went with the red.
Okay. What's going on here? Oh, they're all spread out.
Then we have Sybil. Sybil
Alright,
did
I'll
the.
take my action if I need to stare him down again when it's behind your. No, do it if you're
Oh,
sure.
she's concentrating on him to isolate him.
To Kudo.
Okay, so you're gonna glare at him again with charisma.
Do you want to do
If
anything?
I need to. If it looks like I need to use it, yeah.
Okay.
It's a 4. Just
Okay.
like last time. I did a 3 last time, but 4. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He seems a little less. He seems less convinced than he did the first time.
Because his wisdom.
I rolled really low that time.
Yeah.
The other one was pretty average the
Yeah.
first time. But he's still not.
Okay.
He's still not taking any offensive action. You might have to do something. You might have to do something to push it a little bit
So-
over the edge to convince him to
Something
back
proactive.
off.
Okay, I'm going to walk away from him.
Okay.
Like, look at him in the eyes, like, don't do it, and kind of back up. And I'm going to give Raylon, hopefully, and Doppler, by looking at the angle, if I can, flanking with the uncle.
Okay.
Okay, alright.
So you're gonna back up.
Until she meets his square.
Okay. He follows you but doesn't attack.
Okay.
Is it his turn too?
Oh, that's right. He's back here.
Draw my sword.
Yeah.
Your sword.
Thank you.
That's his
Thank
reaction.
you.
My sword.
The
Your
shuffle move.
sword.
Shawarma.
I think that's it.
Okay. Kara and Oak with Raylog on deck.
Question.
answer.
La pregunta. Protection against evil, would that apply in this scenario or no?
If they're evil.
If they're evil.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
that's,
hurting me. I
that-
think that.
that's a conversation piece.
That is a matter of perspective of like, is your side right or is their side
He thinks you're
wrong?
Yeah, it's a philosophy. But it does matter what's assigned, and you'll find out. That's all. there's to it.
Morally, it's a matter of morally, are they?
Well,
Evil.
morally, I would say there's a problem here.
It depends on who.
That's
you,
why we're
Who are
here.
you asking about? Are you asking about the henchmen that are fighting you, or are you asking about Kudo?
It's henchmen.
Either or.
Yeah.
I'm saying, would it apply at all?
For
Mixing
certain
them.
ones, yes, and other ones, no.
Because they don't
Okay.
have an aura around them saying
I'm
I'm
saying
evil.
at all.
Well, you'll find
For
out.
your circumstance with this henchman, no.
I know. I'm seeing if I want to use it in the future. Would it apply?
In your current circumstance, no.
I'm not a future.
If you were in a similar circumstance in the future, it would not apply.
Okay.
But attack Kudo, and then you'll fight someone evil.
I know. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to think ahead. And I'm being told, don't
There are
even
certain
try
entities that are just known to be, followers of the deceiver,
it. Okay.
that are just morally known to be evil. And if you're going up against one, you know that you can preemptively use that and it will give you benefit.
Okay.
Other ones, it's kind of a
Chance. You don't know.
50-50, you don't know.
As my standard action, which does not. If I do this as my standard action, I don't get to fight. Correct.
I suppose.
You're the game master, correct or
Yes,
incorrect?
yes. I don't know what you're about to ask me. You're just saying, as my standard action, if
You're
I
not
do this,
responsible
Itemized.
for the question I will ask. You're only responsible
what are you
for right
planning on
now.
doing with your standard action? Because you might be doing something and it
I'm
might actually be a
getting
bonus
there.
action.
So,
I'm getting there.
orcs are evil, so
I'm
if they're
getting
shooting
there.
at you, that'd
My
be protection
waffly
against orcs.
minded friend.
For my bonus action, I would like to make it my main action.
Main action.
For my standard
It's a
action.
conversion.
You can very well do that.
For my standard action, I am doing heal light wounds on myself.
Only they're not very light wounds. They're heavy wounds.
Tomato,
So
tomato.
wrong-
I'm
wrong
doing a
category,
thing.
so we don't
okay?
heal.
Healing,
I'm having a
healing
moment.
that is a
Yeah.
standard action.
Yes.
Okay, I am having a moment. All right, 2d6 plus
Who's up after her?
2.
Me.
Okay.
Or did it say me plus 4? I'm trying to decipher
Me plus
the chicken scratch.
Who's
I think that
chicken
says
scratch?
I was gonna say, who did the
I
scratching?
think it's your chicken scratch. You want to
She
put
blames me for
cipher to
writing.
make
She
sure
can't
I'm
read either,
understanding
so.
this right?
Well, 4d4.
Well, he even
2d8.
spelled miracles as miracles on purpose.
That's like
so-
miracle whip.
In parentheses.
I
Does
just
that
put
say
M.
me?
Mayo.
Or is that.
Mayo.
This is me.
Yeah, that's like me towards me plus 4.
Range 2d6 plus 2.
But with me, instead of a plus 2, it's a plus 4. Is that what
No,
it's saying?
it's plus 4 because you're higher level. This is what is standard, and this is added because of your level.
Yes, I'm saying
So,
so.
it's 2d6
So when you have a second, you
plus
should.
2, and then plus 4 because of
So
your
it's
level. So
plus
it's 6.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
So when you have a second, you should probably rewrite that so you don't have
I'm
to ask this
going
question.
to.
again.
Yeah, you need to pro-take it.
I'm going to. And I'm probably going to correct the spelling on miracles.
Actually, it's plus 12 if you want.
If I want.
It's called a learning curve.
Okay, 2d6. Okay. I get 8 points.
Oh, better than nothing.
Woo, woo.
Above half.
8
My heart went from going boop goop to going goop boop.
Yes, that's what happened. That is all that
We're
happened.
on the other side, folks.
I'm still at like.
All right,
30%.
Raylord, you're up. Unless she has a bonus action she wants to do.
I might have a bonus action. I might have. My bonus action is going to be editing.
I mean,
Editing the
if you have a potion, you could do a potion as a bonus action.
And level is spelled L-V-E-L. Purpley.
It can be LVL if you want,
Slots
or
for
LEVEL.
blessings
You can be
and
any way you want.
miracles. Miracles is Spelled
Or just put it-
M-E-R-R-I-C.
Alright, Raylog.
Alright, I'm gonna do my thing.
Miracles!
It's a southern version.
Miracles.
Can I hear somebody ask for a miracle?
It's a cross between musicals
Hey, Mushu.
and merriment.
Dragon, not lizard.
So I'm going to rewrite this into being.
So Raylog hit a 23,
Oh yeah.
and that one's blessed. So I'll let you know the
Hashtag
which one I hit.
blessed.
Okay, that one. Yeah, that one didn't hit.
Okay.
Hit a 16.
Yep.
Okay.
Is that against Uncle?
Yep.
Yes.
16? Okay.
Just hits.
That's what we want to hear.
Okay, so 2 hits, and they're both the blessed weapon.
Blessed.
Alright.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Okay. Are there any other typos I want to fix? So I know what I'm reading next time.
So 22 is the first set of damage. Bludgeoning. And then 21.
Yeah.
So total of 43 bludgeoning. That's blessed. And then he is tumbling.
Okay.
I'm not laughing at you, you're fine.
Before Torvine goes, he's going to use a legendary action to attack Raylog once again.
Actually, Marie, it should be just +2. That's why I said
17 and
4.
18.
Because your 2 levels
Mhm.
is +1 for
17
every
and
clerical
18 to
level
hit.
you have.
Yeah, they hit.
So it shouldn't have had a +4 in the parentheses, and there shouldn't be a +6 in the parentheses.
You're
It's
supposed to get all together the
2d6.
pluses. It's 2d6 + 4, and that's it.
+4
20.
and
That's it.
story? Okay. Alright.
And is the Sybil
'Cause you only
actually
have 2
flanking for
levels
me? I
of
wouldn't
flank.
have changed anything.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so +3.
That's why I put the 4.
It was a good chance for me to go through and
36 slashing.
Red things up, that's fine. But yeah.
Okay.
But when
All right,
That's-
Torvine.
that's
next level,
two-
you have
two.
another +1,
Okay.
which will make it a 5.
Just eight.
Once you raise a level. Every time you raise a level, it goes up 1 more point.
Torvine, you're up.
Point
Since I am opposite side of, well, Birdie kind of flew away. He only gets a I'll try to drop that guy.
Okay.
Alright. So I'll get a +2. He's large,
He is
Well
indeed.
so I get a +4. Gotcha. Not that good. 4, 5, 6. Where's my two-handed? Well, his warhammer, excuse me. It's 11, and then that's 6. It hits a 20. This one hits a 20,
That hits.
and this one hits a 14.
That hits.
Okay. And if I remember right, I'm going to use a backswing. Same identical one, that's a 14. Okay. So that's 2D. No, it's 1d4. I'm thinking about my old character. Alright, so it's 12 points of bludgeoning. 12 points of bludgeoning. 13 points of bludgeoning.
Okay.
He's still
Really-
standing.
Really looking hurt.
Oh, caramba. Alright, so I have a free action. I'll taunt him. And I'll use my charisma. And tell him, you big ugly oaf, keep after me. Roll 14. I just made mine.
He rolled a 3.
Yeah, well, he can ignore me or whatever, but I just did damage to him, so.
Yeah. I mean, he seems to be following you around anyways.
Yeah, that's good. I'm there to divert him from our hero. So.
Kudo's turn. He's focused in on Rayla. He really just wants to take you down. It's 22 and 21.
Yeah.
And then one last one.
You get a point every turn, right?
19.
Ooh.
19 hit.
19.
Yes. Yep.
He gets 3 swings because he's just
Sorry, I
doing
thought you were
claws.
saying damage.
He's just
but-
doing his claws, which is 1,
Okay.
2, 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna do math.
Alright, let me do this battle chart.
57 over 3 hits. Slashing.
Okay.
It's almost like last time. Chart 10. Little clerical sheet. 3. Good.
4. Then is the others. The other his henchman's turn, or the other peeps. Kara,
What about
this is
me?
for you.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
16 and 17.
Both hit.
29 points of slashing.
Is that exactly what you had?
Did you have 29 or did you have less?
It wasn't less.
Alright, so 29. Kara goes down.
We are now the meat shields. Move us where you will.
This is against Torvine. I rolled really low. It's like a 10 and a 9.
Scoring like a golfer. Woo!
This one moves up to be with Sybil, but does not attack. This is attack's gonna be at Sybil and probably.
Oh, the arrows.
Yeah. They're gonna end up moving closer so they can.
No. She's a cleric, so she has protection with you.
A set at Sybil and a set at Dothra. We'll do Dothra first.
So she'll have a 22.
Yeah, that's a 15 and a 16 to hit. Pretty sure that misses for
Yep.
Dothra. Okay, and Sybil. Well, that's a good roll. That's a 19, but I
It's a
think
miss.
that misses. Okay.
Probably
Sybil
glances
puts the
off,
shield
yeah.
up once again and boom, boom.
Yeah.
And Dothra, she moves out of the way of one, and the other one just kind of like scrapes her arm, but doesn't really do any damage. At this
Tattoo.
point, you guys start to see some figures coming out of the lower part here, coming out of the fray that's going on in the entire circle there.
That's what I was gonna
You
ask.
start to see some individuals making their way towards this part of the
These are Vigons.
fight. Yes, Vigons.
Do we still see elves on the top?
Yep, over here.
Okay.
But there's orcs and Vigons fighting
Okay.
all over the place.
Right. Okay.
I might as well put numbers on these. All right. And once again, you see a slight red hue go down over Kudo once again.
Okay, Festus is up.
Nobody's surprised.
Let's do 5.
It's about time reinforcements came to help us.
We could just go for forcements at this point.
They just have some very violent
I'll
hula
take
hoops
some
on
forcements.
for social distancing.
Okay.
Like Constantine.
We're back with Dothra and then Festus and Sybil on deck. Dothra.
Okay. She will continue to attack. She has flanking. Her flanking is +2 or +3?
3. You could almost roll ones and hit people. Hopefully.
She hit a 15.
Against Kudo?
Yeah.
Misses.
And she hit like a 20 something or 30 something.
Did I see Kara go down? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw nothing.
Never mind.
You saw nothing.
I didn't see anything.
She
She wants to
did
be taken out of the
27.
craziness.
Remember, I'm wearing the cloak of Elven
This is
Klein. You
slashing?
can't see me.
Yes.
Right?
But you want to activate it. You're not conscious
You
anymore,
only
do
see
you?
me when I go.
Okay.
Kill over.
Okay. Festus and Sybil.
That's the only time I'm seeing.
That's not gonna make it. That's a bad roll. It's not gonna make it. Festus miss. He whiffs.
Okay.
The 4 doesn't make it.
Sybil, you are right up against Kudo, and you also have the Vigon that you were
Right.
threatening kind of followed you but didn't attack.
No. No. So you did not use them.
She's in the melee over there too.
I'm right next to Kara, more or less. I'm 10 feet away. I'm gonna bonus action quick heal on Kara.
Okay.
You get quick heal.
Mm-hmm.
You get like 16
I'll
points.
give
You
the
need
guy
to roll
behind me
for
like
her.
a little look.
Yeah, she doesn't
Then
get
I'm gonna try to stab that guy into this night mask again.
Did you get that?
What was that, Kim? I'm sorry.
That's why I kept moving it over here. What was that?
I'm gonna bonus action quick heal and
Yeah,
then stab the guy in front of me a lot.
Kudo or the one that would just been following you?
Oh, Kudo.
Okay.
The guy
Okay.
has been following me. I'm gonna give him the this could be you look.
You get 11 points back.
Okay.
In
You
like
lifted my
in an intimidation attempt.
Smushed
2 tally marks.
Okay.
She's
So,
attacking Kudo.
yep, 2 attacks against Kudo.
I'm alive. Barely.
And then we have Kara on deck, which you would be conscious,
Barely on
but
deck.
you are prone.
Are you using your rapier?
Yes.
Okay, she gets. He's large, she's medium.
Correct.
And the bless is up. So she gets a +3. Is it a flank?
Yep.
Yes.
So 6. Well, that's a 20. So, and that's an 11. So it's a
And he has
17.
no damage negation against this.
17.
Or he does, but it's not as much as the
Right.
other ones.
So it's a 21 and then a natural 20.
Okay.
So.
times that he's not just a part barbarian, he's also morbus, which gives him just natural damage negation.
Alright, the first one is 6, so it's doubled, so that's 12. Plus 18 is 30. That's her first hit.
Okay.
And this one is 20.
Okay.
That's 2 hits.
Mm-hmm.
She gets one more?
Nope, just 2.
Just 2. Alright,
two
that's
with
it.
the rapier.
Alright.
Really, at this point, he is definitely looking around, trying to find a way to get out. Kara is awake. You come back to, like, you hit the ground, which you don't remember hitting the ground. And next thing you know,
Of course I don't.
you remember coming back to, and
You
there's a
remember
large
being-
figure in front of you that just knocked you down,
Mm-hmm.
and you come back to consciousness, 2 on your
Options.
back.
Mm-hmm.
Get back in melee or play possum.
Melee! Okay.
Okay, she stands up.
Half the movement to stand up.
And I'm still dual wielding.
Somehow she kept a hold of both weapons.
I just went,
The glue down there.
okay.
Like Velcro.
Hey, the tip of that
she
sword might have fallen off
wrapped
in
him
the
real
container.
quick. Wrapped the
The
She
tip
has
of the
a special
sword fell
glove.
off in the
She
container,
wrapped the
but I'm
tag
still holding on to it.
to
okay?
her wrists.
The gloves
Alright.
of dexterity she hung.
Yes, I still have the +2 from you and the
Mhm.
+1 from the size differential.
Yes.
Okay,
So
Three.
so it's +3. So 3
Plus 30.
It's a 14.
That's a hit.
Better be. And then a 18.
Hits.
Yeah, that one did.
Thank the Lord. Okay.
It's a numbers game.
Alrighty. Let's see.
You get 3 swings, right? You're dual
You
wielding.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're
Oh,
dual wielding.
I always forget that I get that.
Oh,
Don't hold it against me. Okay.
Now it's on my side.
Don't think about it.
Better not. Okay. 23.
oh yeah.
Definitely hits.
Who's on deck?
23 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
The last
Oh,
one.
damage.
Okay. DiMaggio.
That baseball guy again.
8 points and 15 points. So that's 23 points total.
2 hits.
Well, you hit it all 3 times, right?
Oh yeah, I gotta do one more.
He falls over.
It's a technicality.
See, he saved me from doing another thing with my hand. I don't have to lift another finger.
You can totally finish him off.
He's already gone. Sweep up the
Okay.
crumbs.
If I've understood this game enough, no one's really totally.
You still
Get
have
out
an
my
attack,
way.
and you still have an attack.
I know.
The 23 that you could potentially move and hit somebody else with the 23, and you have half your movement to move yet.
3
If
and a
I
half squares.
switched to my bow, would that negate
No.
any of that?
Yes, you would not get that attack.
Okay.
Different weapon.
Well, then I'll keep tacking, and I'll keep attacking by doing the tacking with this guy.
And that was a 23.
1 square,
Yes.
and you will have flanking, which would add on to the 23, but you already rolled a
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it
just
just
do your
already
best.
So
hit.
you're just giving me
You
damage.
don't want me to deal.
You're just giving.
Okay.
You're just giving me damage.
Okay. All right. 7 points.
And this is slashing, piercing,
Tap on the shoulder.
What weapon is this?
slashing, piercing.
And he falls up.
Dagger.
Piercing.
Okay.
Pokey poke.
7 points, you said?
And here.
Yeah. How do you want to do this?
7 points.
She goes up. It's over. She always
I
kills
killed you.
Look at
Go
It's all
that
the
way.
XP.
I'm over here. Yes.
She goes up 5 levels.
No, it's like me tapping.
Kara
saying, I killed
has
your buddy.
been out of the entire fight for like the entire time, dealing with her and Oak, dealing with one Vigon.
Just turns
While
around.
everybody else is like facing off against all this stuff,
I
comes
got
up
one guy.
and behind Kudo shoves a dagger into his back, and you see him like fall down to his knees. Raylog, it is your turn.
He
I'm
goes,
a hobbit.
girl.
I'm a hobbit at
He drops down to one knee as the dagger goes in.
That sounds familiar.
This has
Just
Lord of the
right-
Rings
right
Is
off.
his
Swing
face
up.
going to crumple?
And
Is my forearm disabled?
does he still have to roll?
Hmm?
Is he trying to dodge it at all? Does Raylock still need to roll?
Say something and smack him.
It's up to you.
Space
He
to
is
me!
falling to one knee. He's not unconscious. He's not dead.
Right.
But
He will be
drops to
after
one
you
knee.
hit him.
Yeah, Raylock's just kind of hit him.
Okay.
He's pretty mad.
As you should be.
You remember Mary went up and did the Witch
I
King?
know. He took a knee.
Essentially, yeah. That's essentially what happened.
And then someone took advantage of it and finished.
Quite literally.
Yeah, I mean it's like 20 or
No
30
man.
something.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
viewed it more as Pippin taking the last stab.
Do you want to do anything
One
specific
stab
with
is dead.
this?
That's it.
You probably hit him in the head.
Doink.
The cliche shot.
Do you want to try to?
Is this non-lethal
Or
or
are you doing like a lethal, like a called shot? Like I want to decapitate him? Like you tell me.
After you hit him, then say what happened.
Because you're hitting it, but if it's called shot, it's going to make it a little bit difficult.
He's
It's
gonna do
a
a
little
nice
more
roll.
difficult to hit. But if you're rolling like a 30, it's not going to really matter anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's really high.
That's why I'm asking.
But he's rolling damage already.
I mean
Yeah.
I still have to do it anyway, but
Yeah.
like, do I want to decapitate him? Do I have the space to do that? Okay.
Yeah, you're taller than all of us anyways. You just swing around.
Well, I mean it's a large weapon. I
I
don't
mean,
want to smack somebody
it's
else.
a blunt weapon.
Yeah.
So, but it's a matter of like, do you want to do so much damage that it's just like, it'll take him a bit. I wouldn't say you'd be able to decapitate him. I would say that it would be very heavy damage to the head, to the point where like,
It crushes cranium.
yeah, but it's not like the head's gonna be like.
No, it won't
Yeah,
be
I mean,
dramatic like
yeah,
that.
I'm
but
just
it'll be
planning on
smushy.
smashing the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Whack-a-mole.
All right.
So
Like
he
a
did.
So he's not 9 foot anymore. He's 8.5.
That's what happens when you take it.
Some of the football players, I have no neck.
So he did 28 points of damage.
Okay. Your uncle falls to one knee and looks up to you, and you, having two warhammers that you've been fighting with, take the one that Torvine imbued into both hands, raise it up above your head, and bring it down on top of the head of your uncle, and the head just crushes like right into the shoulder.
And with
And the
disbelief,
body
a
just-
new one grows up.
Crumples over to the side.
I am Hydra. Yeah.
Let me find the
Both the uncle and the animal.
What?
There we go.
He turned into a Etten with 2 heads.
And he falls over, and the Vigons in the immediate vicinity just like they might have been like coming back from swinging or whatever, or getting ready to
But they
swing,
freeze.
and it just kind of stops, and everything just kind of comes to a halt. These ones make their way up a little bit closer, and then they see the dead body of Kudo laying on the ground. The fighting amongst on the outskirts kind of fade, and
Kind of, but not completely.
Bad news travels.
well, it doesn't just like
Right.
like just
Yeah.
stop, but
But a
it's just
lull,
like
it starts
yeah, it just
diminishing.
starts diminishing.
Yeah. Kara, can you kill the guy next to me? I mean, 1 stab is all it takes.
The little bar.
And everything just kind of
You're good.
comes to a halt.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? Everything comes to a halt.
Breathing.
I'm waiting for a speech from Rygar.
Behold, he hath been
Okay. Kudo, his
incapacitated.
head gets crushed,
Yeah.
body falls over, hits the ground.
Like cooler
Things
heads
start to
for
come
that.
to things come to a halt in the center, and there's a few moments that pass, and things start to settle on the outskirts. Even the orcs that are on the rooftops seem to, like, even though they have arrows, they kind of
I would like to
Release
gesture to the
the-
guy who was flanking and attacking me and Raylog. You know, I'll like be in a guarded stance and tell him, stand down, it's over. And I will also look around a little bit. I'll probably roll my awareness to see if maybe I could see if that what's the name of that orc, the head orc, Gurge, if he's walking around on my side over here.
Okay. You don't see him in the immediate vicinity over here. You don't see anybody
Okay.
that stands out like Gurge.
All right, because Gurge just had his head squeezed,
Yeah.
and the one who just did that had his head smushed. So I mean, I thought it would be.
As Torvine does this and kind of like stands off with his Vigon in front of him and then says, stand down, and kind of looks around a little bit. Dothra makes her way over to, like, just like a foot or two over to the palisades and stands up like her uncle did and says, Heartmount, bear witness to Raylog, son of Gunzath, heir of the Lineheart line. And as this rings out, that is when everything just stops. And everybody just begins to face the center and see
mill around.
what is going on. And you can see people starting to filter in closer. And the circle is about 3/4 the size that it was before.
I'll say, praise the creator, it is over.
You hear a few voices start in this direction. Raylock, Raylock. And you start to hear the voices getting a little bit louder and louder on the outskirts, and next thing you know, it's a cacophony of voices of what seems to be the entire village yelling one word, Raylock.
I would
That's-
like to, during this moment of exhilaration of people starting to culminate their thoughts and be able to be part of the moment, I would like to go over to the bear,
Okay,
and I would like to heal the bear while that's going on.
go ahead. You're going to want to mark this down for Oak.
I am.
Well, use that negative
You sure
2
you
or
don't want
something.
me to forget him?
You want to say anything?
I mean, nothing's really coming to mind at the moment.
Ooh, that was a tough one.
We are brain tired.
Okay. You do see Durek and others that you know to be loyal to your father, and I will pull that sheet out here so I can throw in a couple other names here.
Oh, there it is. 24, 34, 4. Oak gets 44 points of life back.
That's more than I got.
Well, he
It's
is.
a different heal type.
Yeah.
I thought you were
Yeah,
gonna
this
say
is
it's a different animal. I'm
No.
like, no.
this is heal moderate wounds. Yeah, he might not be the same after this.
Heal moderate wounds.
Yeah.
How about
It's
resurrection?
no, that's
Full
I have to
heal.
be level 8 to do that. Actually, I have to be level 10 to get resurrection. Excuse me.
Fancy.
But you see others that you would know to be loyal to your father. You see Durek, you see Torgar, you see others that you kind of had Festus look into before coming into the village, and you see them kind of step forward as as the village is chanting Raylog's name, and you can see them coming forward and throwing a fist up in the air, and you can see weapons in their hands as they're shouting and raising their weapons up in the air, cheering with the conclusion of this battle
Your bear's up.
seemingly coming
Yes.
to an end here. And then Dothra steps down from the palisades and comes to you and puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "What are your orders, brother? What should we do with the orcs?"
You can guess who had coffee out at the party.
Terrible.
The half elf.
And you can see now the other Vigons that kind of that were attacking you guys now have actually dropped their weapons and have actually dropped to one knee
Mhm.
in like respect to you and your sister.
Finally, get some respect around.
And your uncle has reverted back to his human form,
Human
Okay.
Vigon.
or Vigon form.
The Vigonian without the red glow.
Look nicer hair.
The Vigonian without the red 40.
While he turns into his form, his armor's still on.
Correct.
Can I identify it then? With identify?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 6. I definitely have information on that.
As you go to approach the body,
I don't have to touch it.
you see.
But yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you
From
were
a
gonna go
distance,
over-
I can
oh,
just.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you?
I rolled a 6 out
Okay.
of his 18.
You are looking at the armor.
Yeah, because it glowed green whenever we did fear and during that.
That is what. That is this armor.
Oh, we're still gonna loot this.
Oh, I thought you said loop. I'm like, over and over again? Okay. Which? It's
All right.
like,
Um,
oh, loot.
oh.
Loot. It's down to you, bud.
So Raylog will go and kind of stand up in front of everybody, and will say, "People of Heartmount, my uncle is now slain at my hands, and I am personally sorry that he has been misleading you and mistreating you all. That is not the way that a leader should treat the people of Heartmount or people in general. We will work to. We now need to work to restore this peace that we had and end the conflict that is all the way out in the what's the
Living
Tree.
Forest?
Living tree.
living tree forest, and we as the history of this town has not been this has been known as a village that is for the creator and not siding with the deceiver. I personally ask for all those that do not agree with that, if you would please leave.
This is your chance.
Yeah, I'm going to be kind to you this once and let you leave. You are free to do so now. And we'll work to kind of heal those who need healed, and then we will work to inform all those who have been fighting for my uncle out toward the Living Tree Forest and various villages and such between here and there. We need to send members out to inform them of what has happened, and also put to rest any resistance there may be as a result of what has happened. That is all I have to say for now.
Go to the thing.
There's a few whispers that go around of like, so the conflict's over. I don't know.
I guess
Not
that's
fighting anymore. What? can see some like they're like totally in agreement with that, and there's others that they don't necessarily disagree with it, but then at the same time,
They
like
kind of liked it.
it's not of like they liked it, but there's some that like the idea of the peace returning. There's others that are like indifferent, and there's other ones that are just kind of like they leaned a little bit more towards what your uncle was doing versus the just not or the peace that was before. But you finish your speech, and the little silent or quiet conversations can be heard, and then a voice rings out from amongst the crowd. A familiar voice saying, my. I must say, your group certainly gets around. And you see a figure walk out from amongst the people and stand in front of you all.
It's not the lead, is it?
No.
Okay.
This is the figure that you guys saw in front of the
Cards,
Whetstone Manor.
Yeah.
Same robes.
Bad dream.
Oh, I see. Okay.
First,
You can't do that again to you ever.
Whetstone. And now, the Great Mountains.
Sounds like you could run too.
You really don't know how to keep your nose out of other people's business, do you?
Right back at you, buddy.
And you can see like his face, like he's trying to have a composed face, and you can see more of it. It's almost like it's not pale, but kind of like a sunken in, almost like the skin's kind of sucked in a little bit.
Malnourished?
In his skin, yeah, kind of like he hasn't eaten in a
Hydrate or
while.
die, man.
But-
Hydrate or die.
So
As
is
in-
he like really old?
Doesn't look old. You
It's
can
a hard
see
life.
you can
Hard
see
life.
hair that comes down that was more tucked back when you first saw him, and his hood was down, and all you saw really was more of like his nose and a little bit
No,
of his
it's
mouth.
unkept.
Now it's more like the hood's pushed back a little bit, and you can see red hair, long, like wavy, not crazy wavy, but you know, just red hair that has a little bit of a wave to it.
Friend.
Hanging down in the front a little bit. I suppose it is to be expected, seeing that I didn't see to the end of your pitiful lives myself. No matter. That is a mistake I shall now remedy. And you see him hold a hand up, and you can see lightning start to
Scatter.
gather at his
Can we
fingertips.
scatter? I'm scattering. I'm not staying waiting for a hand of lightning bolt.
And you see,
I'm
you
going on this
guys
side of the
hear
palisade.
Toravine begin to move
I'm going.
away
side
from you.
of
Is
the
anybody
palisade.
else doing stuff?
Yeah. Okay.
Doffer will
Things.
move.
I don't think Kimberly's character would be standing there either.
Everybody's
They're
facing
back?
him at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
assuming.
yeah.
So you're moving.
Yeah, I would say out loud, scatter. He's about to zap us with lightning. Did I see him?
Of course,
starting to-
they have no idea.
Yeah.
You're the only one that had the dream. So they have no idea what's coming.
Oh, where is he compared to us?
Can you take a picture?
Yes,
Yeah.
I sent it to her already.
Can I see the distance? What's the distance?
Well, that's
1, 2,
25 feet.
3, 4, 5 blocks.
5 times 5 is 25.
Yeah. I sent you
Yeah.
a picture.
Can I rush him?
She
Can I
wants
what?
to rush him, while he's monologuing.
Not if she
Okay.
could be Russian.
Yeah, I mean you can go for that. Yeah.
If he's actively beginning to do the first bits of like
Yeah.
using an empowerment,
Yeah, he's putting a hand up, and then he's in the process of extending fingers out towards your group.
Yeah, I'm gonna go goof.
Goof?
Okay. So you start to rush him. You get about 10 feet, and you see the lightning coalesce at the end of his fingertips, and his hand extends, and you see the lightning getting ready to go off. And just as you think it's about to go off and head in the direction of the party, you see his arm go straight up in the air, and you see the lightning just straight up in the air. And then you see a palm, a large furry hand, start to go from being invisible to being visible, and you see a large furry figure with a large furry mitt on his arm, holding his arm up in place, having moved it from the direction of the party. You see a large figure around 12 feet tall in spiked half-plate armor, now standing behind and to the side of this robed figure.
Does his hair look similar to what I retrieved down in the mines?
Yes.
Okay. Night.
Dark fur. And looks in the palm, I say furry palm, but it is different than that of a Brutum morbus.
More like
It is
apish.
more like an ape-like, like a gorilla mint.
Magilla gorilla.
And the large figure speaks out with a very deep, bellowing voice. That is enough, Fabian. It's over. And Fabian says, but I... And he says, I said it's over.
Benito.
I will not have you jeopardize plans that have been long set in motion to settle a personal vendetta that resulted from your own ambition. And you see Fabian kind of take his arm back as the grip is now loosened from his arm, and he takes his hand back, and you can see the annoyance come over over himself, and fine. And he kind of walks around and stands a little bit behind the large figure to the side.
A little Weimer.
But as he goes to go around the figure, the large figure says, "Oh, and next time," and you see him just backhand the Fabian, yes, backhand Fabian, and Fabian just face plants into the ground.
Can we hire this guy?
Hire and fire.
Don't use a member of my elite behind my back. And you see a familiar orc figure show up out of the crowd here
What-
and walk
whatever
up
his name is.
beside the large figure, which I do not have. We'll just put
Oh, we missing him.
we'll put this figure
I forget. Do we have him?
here.
Not here, but like at home. I can't remember if we are here.
So the night dwells in between.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't use a member of my elite behind my back. Get your own.
Yeah, get your own toys.
And you see Fabian kind of roll over onto his back and sit up and
Half action.
wipe some blood off of his lip. Of course, my apologies. And he slowly gets up.
That's why his face is all sunken in. He's getting backhanded.
And the large figure turns around towards Gurge and says, "Gurge, with me." And he turns around and waves his hand a few times, and you see a familiar portal open up, and he walks. Gurge.
I want to talk to you, she says, Sybil.
Gurge goes through the portal.
Yeah, we don't care about
And the other one is getting ready to.
Mr. Big.
Yes, the big guy gets like halfway into the portal.
Are other orcs making a motion to follow?
They like the ones that are on the rooftops have made their way down off the roofs or off the rooftops, but they are not making a.
Okay, they're not migrating.
They're
towards
not
the portal.
migrating that way.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
I'll do a leap and jump over on the palisade, and so I can see. And is it big enough? And I'll move also my movement, so I can be behind Sybil. I'm going
okay.
up on
Well,
the
you're
palisade
small
to the-
enough to kind of fit between here, and then you can.
Oh, if I can do a hobbit thing,
Yeah,
that's
that's
good.
fine.
All right. And I'll say, Mr. Big, what are you addressed as? What do they call you?
He kind of like stops walking midway through the portal, and then kind of looks back at you and says, "That is not your concern."
I have something of you.
Of you
Of you.
or for you?
Of you. You
He-
left this memento down with some
Email?
immunite.
You
Finger
see, like
puppets?
he's still waiting there. He's not going through yet, but he's listening.
Keenly.
I have, through extensive lore, have never encountered until I've just seen you now, that you are a very impressive breed of night dweller. But that doesn't fit who you are. Your title is very important.
My title.
Oh yes, you have done many great things. I'm assuring you, you probably have a title.
And if you know
Things
that I've done many great things, and you know enough about me.
But they are not momentous unless they're stamped with your greatness.
He kind of turns and positions himself enough to actually like look back at you at this point. He's like, "Pray you never have to find out who I am."
Sadly, wherever we've been going, you've been related to it. Maybe not directly, but your cronies have been in the directions we've been going. So we have been crossing our paths indirectly.
Indirectly.
Until today.
Which is unfortunate.
Actually, it is. And you're right, I would not like to cross your path.
And it would be wise to keep it that way. And he
And your subordinates.
goes through the portal. Unless you wanted to interject anything, Kim.
He was wearing armor, right?
Yes.
I would like
yeah,
to.
I did, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead
Yeah.
if you wanted to interject.
I want to identify his
You
armor.
hear me the first time.
If you want to interject, go ahead.
I can see it.
Yeah. I still have the
He identifies
sword
as
out, so
Night
I'll
Dweller.
just kind of wave it a little bit.
A flourish.
Be like, what do you want with love right here? Why is that so important to you?
Collector.
Yeah, he just kind of like. He really does not want to stand here and talk.
I see it, I want it,
He's
I
got
don't
a
have it.
cake in the
he's-
oven.
I left
His
the roast
response
on.
is very similar to that of what he said to Toravine. That is not your concern, and pray that you do not find out. And if you are wise, you would leave this matter and not concern yourself with it.
Let me guess what Sybil
Wisdom's never been my strong suit. I think I'm gonna make it my concern. See it again.
And I identified his armor.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
Okay.
Ours says too bad.
It
we're
is
already
a very
concerned.
powerful enchantment that gives him a lot of extra DR, and then
Up to 6.
Yes, and then a
Plus
lot of
6.
it basically gives him resistances to like lightning, fire,
Natural.
cold,
Okay.
like all the elements essentially. And he's wearing spiked half plate armor.
Oh, spiked.
Yes.
Ooh.
And
You said
the
half
spikes
plate?
are more like on the
Shoulder
shoulders.
pads.
There's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
3 that pop out.
Like the guys in Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, kind of. And then there's like some at like the elbow and whatnot.
Half
Half
plate?
plate. Yeah.
Is there an item that it looks like he's using when he makes the portal?
like his hand.
On the hand that he waves around, you see a gauntlet,
Can we identify?
and he doesn't have a matching gauntlet on the opposite
He's been standing
hand.
there for a while.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
been standing there for a while.
Because where are you gonna identify Kim?
This goblet.
His gauntlet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to roll for that? I rolled a 10.
Okay.
That's a great success. It's not literally great.
It is a breach.
Good.
It's a breach gauntlet, and essentially, it opens a portal from somewhere that they can see, and it allows them to go to somewhere that they're familiar with or have been before. The color of it sticks out from his armor mainly because it looks like it is made of pure platinum. And you see at the knuckle area where his knuckles would be, you see 5 beads that are black. And there's grooves that go up and down where those are from his knuckles down to like the wrist area.
Beads.
Yeah, there's like black beads on the 4 knuckles for like the fist, and it's at the knuckle area. But where those are, there's grooves that go down to like where his wrists are.
Did he say his name yet?
No,
He
did
won't.
Not, he
He's
did not
shy.
give his name. He said, "Pray you'd never find out."
Yeah, whatever. He's
Okay, Captain Nemo, whatever you say.
Alright, cool.
Well,
What's Faven doing now that he's on the ground?
He
has
got
to.
up and then stood and just like kind of crossed his arms in front of him and was letting
yeah.
the large figure talk.
Okay. When they start walking away, I want to go over and make sure that sword is still there. It's on the floor.
Oh yes, the sword's still there.
Okay. I'm gonna pick it up when I have a cloth that I have. I'll take off and wrap my hands and pick it up.
Okay.
I'm securing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will give it to Sybil when she's ready to receive it.
Okay.
Because she knows history more about it than I do.
Okay.
Is there a hilt? Not hilt. A scabbard for this that Uncle was wearing? Or he just slided it out?
There's like a sling part of it that it sheaths into. It doesn't. There's not an entire sheath for it.
Okay.
It just
Was-
covers a part of the blade.
So it wasn't made for it many years ago. This is something he has that he could use to put it in there.
Yes.
It didn't come with it.
No.
Okay, so I don't care about that. Okay.
But he goes through the portal, and then Fabian starts to begin his way over to the portal, and stands next to it, and then looks at all of you and says, "I don't suppose you will allow me to leave with my orcs, would you?"
That's up to the new ruler. I say you can take yours.
Yeah, that's kind of what I say.
Because he did offer
Yeah, I mean, I did offer that.
for the first time.
Yeah, you may take your orcs.
Okay.
He's a nice guy.
And you
Go for it.
see him kind of raise a hand and do a
Rally on me.
yes, a rally on me type
Mhm.
signal, and the orcs begin to filter out
Count
of the
'em.
village
See how many?
and begin to head through the portal.
How many do we really see? 20, 30?
At
He's
this
come out of
point,
Because
at
they were
this-
fighting with the
yeah,
elves.
at this point, the numbers have dwindled. It's probably close to like 60 at this point. There was more
Okay.
than that.
All right. So I'm assuming you want to get with your generals and people and have a powwow.
But
have
they,
conversations.
and then once the orcs are done,
Because you need leadership to. be on
he
your side.
walks through as well.
All right. While they do that, I'm going to start walking around and help tend to the wounded that are around, because that's what clerics do. I would try to be moral about that. I'm taking myself out of.
Okay.
After I go to Sybil and say, "This is Stormbreaker, This is the sword." I call it Stormbreaker as the wrong name.
Okay. I had a thing I wanted to do first.
Okay.
Okay, while we're waiting for all the orcs to go
Yeah.
and like come to Faven, I'm not going to like necessarily be intimidating or anything. I'm just gonna walk like hands up, no weapons out, but I want to smell the area where the night dwell was.
Where the night dwell was?
To keep his scent.
Okay. Okay.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of awkwardly sniff, kind of Faven, but also the night dwell.
Yeah, she has a bad habit. It makes her sniff.
Just like takes out a jar and
Like, what is that?
Capture that smell.
Wow.
Like an urn.
Like
You s-
totally awkward, but
Okay. That's fine. You also do pick up a odd decay, almost like really old and musty, but then at the same time like a
Dank.
decaying smell, like decayed flesh. It's not like really really bad, but just like slightly decayed flesh, and just musty.
Is it
smell.
sort of like a Vela smell?
No.
Okay.
Since you're over next to Fabian and you're doing this sniffing.
Can I tell the difference between Faven and the old dead musty smell?
It seems to be coming from him.
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
you're the
all
dead
right.
monkey.
He's okay.
Got it.
detect a head.
The dots are like starting to connect.
I'm sorry.
Well, since it exists now, so I've
What did
repelled
the
him dead.
night smell like just one last time? Just so that you know where-
Get through that portal faster.
What's that, Kim?
It's my fault, Kim. You can say it again
Can I get the night dwell smell one more time?
Sure.
with the
She's
urn.
going
Oh, you
back
want
for
me to
another
describe it?
sniff?
Is that what you're looking for?
I'll just watch it again later.
Yeah, it's like bad foot.
She's going back.
I mean,
for
I
another
didn't
sniff.
describe what it smells like. I was
Describing what you smell in that spot.
telling you that you get the
The
smell
combination.
for the night dwell, but on top of that, you also get
Bonus.
Fabian's
Dead
smell
smell. Mhm.
since he's close by,
Dead fish.
which was the slightly
Decaying.
decayed smell, musty smell.
Mhm.
That's what comes off of Fabian.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. And when you do that, I give you that evil sword that the uncle had.
The evil stabby stab.
It burns.
The Lord, when she comes back.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Evil sword.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more your
once
size to
the
carry.
orcs are out of, or through the portal, and Fabian walks through the portal,
Then I'll go heal people. Run around and do that.
Doric kind of steps up and puts a hand on your shoulder, Raylog, and says, "Well done, lad. Well done. You know, I think this calls for a celebration. I think a feast should be held in honor of Raylog and Dothra, heirs to the Lionheart line, returning home. and to celebrate and remember High Chief or late High Chief Gonzath, and the end of the conflict and return of peace. And he kind of looks to you for whether or not that is something okay.
Give
or
me a
not.
nod.
Yeah, that's fine. We do still need to heal everybody's wounds and make
Yes,
sure
yes.
we take care of
We have too many
The-
moves.
conflict that's still ongoing because they don't know.
Yes, I mean we can discuss that. I just feel like we also need to celebrate this occasion as well. But we can talk about sending out messengers and all of that as well. I'm not discrediting that.
Before they send out war parties.
Chief, there you are.
Hi, Chief.
Send a message to one person right now.
Yeah.
Send a message.
All right. Before we get into that, let's
Taking a
take a break here.
Yeah. So you're gonna send a message over to the tree lady, right?
Yes, and I do have a list here of things that you
She's
guys
not here.
may want to do, may not. So I mean,
Okay.
if you need me to give some suggestions, I can. do
Yeah.
That
That
would
would
be-
raise a level. Yeah.
Be nice, especially since it's been a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And like I said, I'm going to heal people and do clerical things.
okay, all right. Let's take a break. We'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. So we're picking up the the speech has been made, and Durik gives the suggestion of having a feast. It is up to you guys on what you want to pursue at this point, who you want to go and talk to.
All right, story. I was still going around healing people.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be the
Triage.
the elves are also going to be going around.
Yeah, I'm
And-
gonna go with Morbine or the elves.
Mhm.
I wanna see the elves.
Mhm.
So I can see them, so I can send it to them later.
Yeah, and one of the elves ends up coming up to you guys shortly after the whole thing kind of winds down and Durik has the conversation. It's like maybe like 30 seconds to a minute, and then there's a robed figure, but the hood, the cowl is down, and familiar colors and garb of someone from the Living Tree Forest, similar to that of Galandra. Not as nice armor and outfit,
That's pretty.
obviously,
Mhm.
but a male figure,
Represent.
strapping looking, young, short hair. Or did I say it was short hair?
You did just now.
But meets the description of what Galandra told you, Sybil, of what Tylus looks like.
Without the muscles?
No, with the muscles.
Oh!
Oh,
Does he
has
have a
muscles.
neck?
No, he does not have the profound neck that
That was
was
a
in the
big.
drawing.
That was a big conversation.
But he approaches and says, "Well met. Wasn't expecting to have some extra help up here, but I received word from Galandra that there was another group up here working towards trying to find out what was going on and up here with Heartmount and to try to bring about peace. Well met. My name is Tylus. I am the leader of the scouting group from the Living Tree Forest.
Oh, you're the guy.
But who, may I ask, are you? Are you just strangers, or?
At
Just
one,
casually say, that's what he looks like.
at one time we were strangers, but we are now known as kindred.
Kindred. It was a wonderful name, good name, especially for a well-knit group such as yourself.
Working
Great
on it.
variety, and you seem to fight well alongside each other as well. So I'm glad we had you to count amongst allies.
And we're glad you popped up when you did also. Because the orcs had the high ground.
Yes, unfortunately, it was not easy to even get to the area where we were, but having a chance to look at the situation and assess it, I figured there was no better time. Raylog, while this conversation is going on, you feel a tap on the back, like, shoulder blade. You just feel a slight tap of, like, someone trying to get your attention, like,
Who was talking to us again?
Tylus, which is the elf
Okay.
that Galandra told Sybil, and she relayed to you about who was leading the scouting party from the
Right.
Living Tree Forest. This is him that's talking to the group right now. But
Okay.
he's in front of you, and somebody behind you seems to be tapping you on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Was he? He was just talking to us.
As a group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll turn around.
You turn around and you see the figure that you saw during your fight with your uncle. And he kind of looks down at the looks same as he was before. Looks down at your uncle. It's a pity it had to come to this. But hard decisions have to be made. And I'm glad you have solidified where you find your strength and where you draw it from. Before I go, I wish to bestow one last gift. And he reaches a hand out like that, as if he wants you to take his
Gesture.
hand.
Okay. I will do that.
As your hand touches and you grip his hand, there is a warm sensation that travels up your arm and then goes to your head. And just as quickly as it hits your head and you kind of like close your eyes to expecting something to happen besides just a warm, calming sensation, you open your eyes and your hand's out, but there's nothing holding your hand, and he's gone.
He's in your head.
All of your stats for like wisdom and all of that, your wisdom, intelligence, charisma, go up. I believe it was 2 more.
2 more.
Across the
And
board raised.
all
You said
of the
Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
yeah,
mental
all the
stats.
ones that we've been raising.
Okay.
They will go up to what they would have, what they should be.
Okay.
That you never knew.
Yes. And all of your memories that have been fragmented since that night suddenly start coming flooding back and start piecing themselves together, and your mind begins to mend to the point where you can recall these things back, all the visions that you had, the memories, the flashes that you had.
So this isn't painful, this is a relief.
Yes.
Unlike before.
Yes.
Kind of miss those days. Hanging on to his head in pain.
As Tylus is speaking to to the party, some of you notice Rayla kind of turn around and face the other direction for a few moments,
He probably smells food.
and his eyes close, and then
And his hands
Kinda
reached
like-
out.
yes, and his hand is reached out, and then kind of comes back to the conversation, turns back around. But Tylus says, "We will help with healing the wounded, and have you made contact with Galandra, or do you have a way to contact Galandra to let her know possibly what has transpired and what has been done?"
Anybody got a rock?
That'd be Sybil.
And she's
I
here.
already gave it to Rayla.
Oh, Ray
Hey,
Ray,
Chief.
got the rock.
Oh, you wanted him to be able to convey as the next one.
You got
carrying
the
the
Rocky
torch.
Talkie?
Oh, yeah, he's in charge now. He gets to say what he wants.
Ray
Okay.
Ray, the Rocky
Mhm.
Talkie. Use it.
Rocky Talkie?
Yes, not walkie talkie. Rocky Talkie.
No. Rocky Raccoon.
The Rocky Talkie.
Yes, that's what it's called.
That is
Rocky
officially the name. It is not a sending stone. It is a Rocky Talkie.
I absolutely adore it. That is the best thing ever.
That's what yours is called.
Talkie. That's what we're calling it.
Rocky Talkie.
It's a Rocky
It
Talkie.
is no longer a sending stone.
There
It
is
a
someone
Rocky
in the
Talkie.
room that is not super fond of the name.
Who is that? Ha! I wonder who it could be.
You're wrong. Rocky
It is a Rocky Talkie.
Yeah, you'll have to watch the
You're
video.
gonna,
again.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I do have it, right?
Yeah, she
You
handed
have it.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to interrupt the conversation. I mean,
Well, he just asked if you guys have a means to contact her.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. We probably should send word to the fronts as well to kind of let them know what has happened as well. I can send word back. Well, if Galandra's already. Actually, if you don't mind, I would like to touch base with Galandra to kind of let her know. Unless you guys have other things that you need to relay to her.
The other thing.
So he has a stone also?
He has a way of contacting her.
Oh, his own personal way.
He's not gonna tell you. Unless you
I mean, you
ask.
can ask.
Oh, yeah, you can ask, but I mean...
Like, you're
I
not
didn't
gonna
know if he
just
needed a
instantly
stone.
know.
Yeah, I didn't know if he needed a stone. But see, he sounds like he knows what he's doing, so... he didn't request anything. He was just getting information, saying...
No, he's just
Yeah.
saying if you know.
Yeah, that's what he said.
He's just saying that
He can contact.
He's thinking
he
as he
doesn't
speaks.
mind. He would like to contact her, but unless you guys have something else that you pressing that you need to talk to her about.
Don't want cross wires. Yeah, it's fine. No, I don't.
No.
Have at it.
I don't know if there's anyone else. You might need to reach out to other villages and let them know what has happened. And probably would take a couple days, if not, if we send riders now, it would be a couple days until the word starts getting out. But the quicker we do that, the more likely we are to get the word out that peace has returned before more lives are lost and more blood is shed.
Right. I mean, that was the plan to do that.
Yeah, he's going to talk to his generals and the council and then disperse.
Okay. Well, my people will be around and will be helping the populace and those that are injured. Let me know, or let one of them know, and they can let me know if you need anything.
Okay.
And he heads back off towards his group to start giving them instructions. Okay. I have down here some different things that you guys may or may not want to do. So, I mean, if you're looking for suggestions, I can do that, or
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to.
we were just doing our healing, walk around, helping
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, we can fast forward that.
Okay,
And
all right.
move on to, because
Same day.
this is, yeah, this would be more around dinner time, not quite nighttime. This would be, we can move forward to like 5 or 6 in the evening ish.
Okay, because I would meditate and try to get points back.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
What's going on over there?
That's what I'm checking.
yeah, lost connection.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Searching. Yeah. So basically, that's what I would be doing after I did my stuff. Whatever you guys. I mean, you're going to be talking to the council and then telling them, hey, we need to tell all the other villages, things have changed, blah, blah, I'm back, blah, blah. And then they would go off to those villages and convey that.
Right. I mean, we would need to understand the extent of that to know where all we need to send things, unless we just do it with everything.
Well, all the officers are still alive.
Well, Durik would be around and would ask who you would like to have help you with this, like, to organize this stuff. If you had anybody in mind for
What's his?
for a council,
Okay,
for putting together a council.
I see. What's he normally do?
He's the butcher,
Oh, okay.
but it can be anybody. It's just people that, I mean, either people that you trust or don't trust, or however, you know.
And it'd probably be most of the people on the list that are still alive
Here we go.
that were loyal to my father.
And we're back.
But it can be, you know, just a a small group, or it can be up to like 4, 5, 6 people. So I mean, you can have like 2 or 3, or you can have more. I mean, that's up to you.
You can send Dothra out too.
Well, most likely, the other would be probably part of it. Most likely, that's my assumption. But.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would think it'd be Dothra. It'd probably be Durek. And I guess, is anyone else, like, because you were kind of
You have run into Torgar. Torgar is the one that Sybil freed out of prison that was beat up and drug out of his home. He was the one that was sheltering the
Say again,
scouting,
Kim.
the scouting group.
Not
Okay.
really. Totally spent
So what,
accidentally not to do that.
is everyone
Okay.
in this list alive, the that are all loyal?
The ones that are present in the village are Durik, Torgar, Braun, and Fulgar.
Okay.
The other 3 are not present. You don't know if they're dead or what, unless you ask around.
Mm-hmm. And do they, I guess, in terms of like my father's relation to them, so I know Durek was pretty good I guess, better friendship than I guess maybe some of the other ones. Like, are there any others that are like that?
Durek was the closest. The other ones were ones that, if there was like a party or something like that, Torgar, Braun, these guys would be this group that to be loyal to your father, are the group that, would end up finding him at the party, and then they'd, be talking to him, and they'd be laughing and carrying on and having a good time.
The clique.
Yeah, so to speak.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, come here, bud. Come here.
But Durek was your father's pretty much his best friend,
Right.
essentially.
Okay. So I mean, I would think at least for now it'd be Dothra and Durek, and maybe Torgar and Braun. I mean, I'd go with that for now and change it if needed.
Okay. So pretty much everybody that's in the village that was loyal to your
Pretty
father.
much, yeah.
It's
Do
a
you
lot.
want to have anyone that was part of the council for your uncle to at least kind of bring you up to speed on what the plans were?
Yeah, that Sybil scarf.
I mean,
up.
as like a
Or-
member,
I mean, he
or
doesn't
just
have to
just for
necessarily be
info?
a member, but just for info.
Yeah, but they had war plans and everything too. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be nice. Did
Yeah, I had a
Were
couple
there-
things I wanted to do.
was there anybody that was like a military leader in the town kind of thing?
They're not here at this point now.
Okay, so they're all dispersed.
Yeah.
So
Like,
the council
The
people.
no,
were
the
military.
council would be more of like people that are helping run the village, or like if there's something
They
going
weren't
on.
military.
No, they weren't military advisors.
Does it have
They
the
would all
plans?
be down at the fronts.
Alright. What were you saying, Sybil?
I think she was talking to the dog, right, Kim?
I was confirming I had the war plans and I wanted to go over them with someone, one
Oh,
of the general people later.
war plans.
Hey,
Because she picked up the paper stuff on the table.
later.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there aren't any generals in the town from the
I
quote.
thought it was relevant, so I thought.
I mean, it is. It is relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Because you made sure it
Yeah,
got
you'd
preserved.
you'd probably give it to me or something, or the author or something.
You have a filing cabinet.
But you guys, do you guys want to go and do that now?
Not just for the war.
Yeah, I think we should do that now and at least have a plan, and then at a time that the plan is
Yeah.
executed.
Because like Tyler said, the faster you guys send out riders to kind of go to the other villages, the faster
Right.
the word gets out.
And knowing who all that is
All right, so you guys end up going back to the High Chief home, gather around the table where you first found your uncle, and Sybil provides the plans that were scarfed up.
Put them over her back pocket somehow.
Essentially, looking at the plans,
Is there maybe more stuff still in the house that Sybil maybe didn't touch? Like maybe at the table that they were at?
Those are the ones that she
no,
got.
all the papers and stuff she scarfed up.
Yep.
Okay. The individual that you pull along with you, unless you want more than just one, to kind of give you info on what the plans
I mean,
were.
if there are like a couple, I think a couple would be good.
Alright. There's two? Yeah, two from the original 6 that survived the fight.
Okay.
And that is Ulfram and Garvold.
Ulfram?
He's a little hard to understand. He's those gargles.
Ulfrim for Ulfram.
Sounds Nordic.
And Garvold, Garvold.
VOLD?
VOLD. But they basically walk you through. They had a lot of troops scattered amongst the 3 fronts. Basically, just to do periodic attacks to really just keep the Living Tree Forest on their toes, essentially. But it wasn't until the discovery of the passage down the side of the mountain that you guys came up. It wasn't until the discovery of that they changed their tactic and did the surprise attack that they did on the Eastern Front. And the plan was to move as many, like the vast majority of their troops, to that side of the conflict, and then have them all go through that side as a flank maneuver, and have just enough on the north and the
Keep 'em
other
busy.
front to keep them busy and make them think that there's a possibility of them being hit at any of the fronts. Which is why that's why that Brennencourt was so populated, is because it was working as a staging area for getting ready to send people down the mountain, essentially.
Oh, it's
Okay.
still being used that.
Yeah, and it's still being used as
Right.
that way. But nothing had been issued ordered wise
Yeah.
to begin
So they're just on
descending.
standby.
Yeah.
So they were on standby. And they were still moving troops via the main road and main travelways to Brennencourt. So thankfully you guys found a different route and did not go the main walkway.
We'd have to kill them all.
Otherwise, you would have been fighting your way all the way through the Grey Mountains.
We will raise 3 levels.
If you survived.
Yeah, well, technically.
If.
Yeah. He doesn't have faith.
That is essentially the breakdown of where they were strategy-wise. As for the village,
The village people.
there was distaste or brewing amongst the orc and the current leadership, which you guys kind of saw firsthand before the battle broke out.
Right. But it was
Essentially,
not just the leader, like the higher ups, it was everybody. or was it just
The
Iris?
orcs, the Vigons did not like, or the populace did not like the orcs being there.
Okay.
And because of that, the orcs could sense the tension and returned it in kind, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So neither side was really liking the other being there. And it was kind of a alliance of, I don't want to say necessity, but the higher ups were working together, so everybody else had to get along.
Right.
No, that's what Fabian was doing,
Yes.
and he wasn't supposed to.
As well, you find out that they were also not all of the populace of Heartmount is home, and some of them have been sent to the neighboring village. What was the name of it?
Do we have it written in our?
Yes, it's the mining one.
That's where all the mines are.
Perdoon,
The Boilermakers.
the one that was mainly
they make
dwarven and human.
Chicken.
Purdue.
Because there was discovery of imbuminite there, and it seemed like Fabian wanted to have his own source,
Again.
Once again, everyone.
Mm.
Once
his own
again.
source of imbuminite.
Mm-hmm.
This is becoming a habit.
Kudo didn't realize that that was going to be part of the plan. The original plan was just to have an army to take the Living Tree Forest for whatever
For
reason.
grandeur. Yeah.
And he wanted to be chief, and that was enough. But it seemed like after he attained what he wanted, then all of a sudden the agreements or the terms
Were distasteful.
changed.
Mm.
And then suddenly the people that he looked to make strong again, and the people that he wished to rule, suddenly are being issued off to go and do the dirty work for a wizard and go mine in a mine and not be able to live at their homes. And now they are worse off than they were when there was peace, because now they're being told what to do.
Yeah, where's the glory in that?
Exactly. So, yeah, there was a little bit of tension there.
Mm-hmm.
Making a Klingon.
And they were trying to put plans together. They weren't very far along, but trying to piece together something to essentially remove Gurge and the wizard from the picture.
So there's contention.
Yes.
But
it
that's
wasn't
all
very
gone
far.
now.
Yes.
Hell, right.
Because they thought that Gurge worked for Fabian, when actually he doesn't. And
Fabian just took him.
yes. So seems to
Mr.
be-
No Name owns him.
That's pretty much the lowdown of what's going on, or
Okay.
what had been transpired. Yeah. And it would have been about a week or close to when the second attack happened that Durik told you about. There was the night of the attack, and then Kudo said, we gotta prepare for a second attack or whatever.
Right.
But it ended up just being other Vigons coming back to try to take the village back. It was shortly after that, like a couple days after that, that they started getting reports of dwarves and other people in some of the villages and even in Heartmount that were having out of control transformations. And then the village had to deal with that as well. But Kudo didn't seem to be too
Can
shocked.
we get more information on that?
Essentially, It was actually just dwarves and humans that were having transformations. The Vigons, the only Vigon that had any transformation was Kudo, but he didn't have it at that time. He seemed to already be afflicted with it. So he got it at some point prior. Somehow.
Do we know where these humans and dwarves came from?
Various different villages in the Great Mountains. I mean, there would have been some from Herdoon. There's a couple other villages that I can get names to you if you want all of them. That are mainly just dwarven and human populated.
Okay.
Not a whole lot, but it was just enough to perk interest. So.
Do we know if any of those people are here right now or back at the Herdoon area?
Well, once they figured out figured out what the transformations were, and Kudo kind of shed light on that, they basically made those folks into their own battalion, I guess you could say, for the war effort. Some of them were sent to each front, but they were in the process of moving them to Bryn Encore to help with the focused attack that they were planning. So most likely the humans and dwarves that you saw that were wearing armor and whatnot in Bryn Encore that didn't look like the general populace, most likely they probably were Morbus of some sort. Yeah, that's pretty much the lowdown of where things were at.
Okay.
So, Durek kind of says, all right, thank you to the two individuals that kind of got everybody up to speed, and then asks them to leave.
Yeah.
And
Goes to the party.
yes. Well, the party's not happening yet. The village is in the process of, at this point, most people have been tended to. There are some that are a little more injured and are being like laid up and whatnot, but at this point, most of the village is in preparation time for the feast. So, Durek looks at you and Dothra and says, "So, what's our next course of action? Do you think?"
Well, we need to get word of what has happened to everybody that is not aware, and I guess determine where all that is. If we want to send individual people to each, or just send like smaller. If we want to send like small groups, and then they cover multiple areas and hit multiple. I guess we need to determine how we should go about that and what makes sense based on who we have to send and everything.
So we need to send word out. You're talking the villages within the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
He looks over to Braun, or not Braun. Fulgar. Perhaps we should get, if we can get maybe 6 riders to go and just start reaching out to the other villages. Just have them go all the way down, all the way to the outskirts. Don't necessarily need to go to the fronts quite yet. We can send word about the fronts, or word can make its way down to the fronts once we get to the outskirts. But we need to get word out as quickly as possible to the to the villages to let them know what has happened and that the conflict is no longer taking place.
Is there
Fulgar
something
kind
that they could prove that what they're saying is true?
Right.
Or
to
we can
give
put,
validity?
yes, that is a good point. We can put together some kind of documentation. Fulgar and I can work on that if that's okay.
And you can put your signet on it and then
Yeah, that's
his mark,
fine.
and then
So, like-
it proves it.
So are these 6 going and covering everything, or are they going
That's
and then
proof.
from there, as a
They
chain
are
reaction,
going-
those
They
are
would you would know that they would disperse. There's 3 main roads that eventually lead out of Heartmount. It
Mhm.
veers off into a Y, and then eventually the one on the left ends up veering off and goes more towards the center, going down straight, and then it branches off into the various different villages. But this allows one of them to go into a village and the other one to keep going, and then they can kind of leapfrog. Because all they're going to be doing is just going in, finding the elder of that village and be like, hey, this is what's going on, and then they're going to get back on the horse and they're going to be going to the next
Okay.
one. So, I mean, it's just going to be a leapfrog effect going down.
Bibbidi bobbidi.
So you would use your family crests with your name on a agreement paper to show that the
Yeah,
mark-
Doric said that him and Fulgar would put
Whatever
something
makes the
together,
most sense.
and they would
Yeah.
they'll bring it to you whenever it's ready to go out.
Okay.
It'll be by this evening.
Yeah, I mean the goal is to hopefully
Yeah.
get it situated today. So
Yes.
either people go out
I'm assuming
tonight or tomorrow morning.
because this has happened, your uncle is now deceased, that you would take on the armor that he had as ownership,
Right.
proving that you are the bona fide owner with the stone on it.
Right.
So would I hand this to him and
Yeah.
tell him?
I mean, that if you're
Yeah, because I already
the
looted.
armor
that's-
is yours. That is the
Yeah,
Right. I mean
symbol of
that's the intent, but
yes.
there were some things that we definitely needed to situate
Yeah.
kind of before.
yeah. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure
Yeah.
because
And you do
I already
need
got the
to
experience
you
from
do
it.
need to bond with that armor to use it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do it during the meeting for 30 minutes.
You'll have time to.
How long?
It's what is it, like an hour or something like that.
Okay.
Swords are only 30 minutes.
But Fulgar, with that saying about needing to put something together, kind of like nods and then excuses himself to go and start drawing something up for to paper wise to give to you later.
Yeah. Mhm.
So he can start working on it.
Okay.
While they're taking that armor off, and can I see if there's any more empowerments on him? Something else other than his armor that was superimposed?
Besides the armor and the sword, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure there wasn't a pinky
Yep, just
ring
nope, just
or
the
nose
sword
ring. No.
and the
Because that way, yeah. That way you can.
oh,
have it.
the
You can
sword,
have
the
it.
sword and the armor. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Armor.
Yeah. And Sybil has a sword.
So, and does this doesn't necessarily include gauntlets and boots and stuff? It's just the main.
It does. Yeah,
Oh,
it has like a fur gauntlet if you want to use it. I mean, it has a fur part for a gauntlet, but it's not necessarily like needed for the main part. Is like the chest and the
Yeah.
Mhm.
legs that
The
you.
accessories are up to you.
Yeah.
If you want
Yeah,
to
but I mean, I should say he had bracers or fur bracers, I guess you could say, or gauntlets that like your fingers would
Yeah.
stick out of and
Well,
whatnot.
they didn't give him any more protection.
But yeah, I mean,
Then,
they're not
then it's half.
necessary.
Right. Okay.
And you need protection, my friend.
So
I mean, they'd hose it off and get rid of the blood. We don't want you getting infected.
goes down and licks the blood.
Yeah.
Now he is Rygar.
Rats.
We thought when he got his power up, he was Rygar. No, now he's
See,
Rygar.
you turned into.
we see the storyteller's face showed this that display like such fear, and then everything like cuts out in the whole video.
What have I done? What have I made? What have I created?
No sequel here. It's over.
It's all over. All right.
I just want to make sure that was yours now.
Yep.
And the game delete save.
Yeah.
Scum save. Save the game just in case it was a
Just a
bad
bad
choice. All right, so we got word going out to the villages and eventually out to the fronts.
The village sounds like a retirement home.
Tylus is going to be reaching out to Galandra. Dothro would speak up and say,
So unlike her.
perhaps we should send word to King's Harbor and let them know what has transpired as well. That's kind of where this all started.
That does make sense.
I'm sure they or possibly the King of Avalon might be interested to know what has transpired. I mean, I'm sure Galandra would let the King know of what has gone on, but at least to verify that the information is gotten out. Plus, we have new information as well, and have actually met whatever that thing was. That's
It's a night dwell.
a what now?
Night dwell. Very evil. Rare.
Night dwell.
Rare and evil. Yes.
Let them know that we have that to add to the mix as well, and that the same wizard that was in Whetstone was apparently up here orchestrating this as well.
Fabian.
Yes, Fabian.
Fabian. I'm sorry. I have mixed up with my favorite singer.
So, but that's just an idea. Probably doesn't need to be taken care of today, but should be in the near future, most likely.
Well, tonight I would contact Ginger, and I'd tell her about the survival of the group, and we have
I'm sure
things
she'll
to
be
take care of.
relieved. Oh
Yeah.
man. I'm in our favorite spot.
Oh, the longing continues.
We're gonna have like a
Serenity.
separate side story, and it's just all the evening calls with Ginger.
No, it'll be the stuff after the campaign. It'll be like the continuation story of like 10 years after the adventures of Kindred. And then somebody's going to make a character
The untold
that's
story.
probably the son or daughter.
Oh, that's crazy.
My
When
dad was
calls the-
Torvine, and my mother, everybody called her Ginger. I don't really know. She actually had a name.
When calls the
We actually
twig.
forgot it.
We just called her Mama Ginger.
Mama Ginge.
Mama G.
Anyway, all right. Is
There's
there
a
anything
character
else?
in the Nutcracker
um,
Ballet named Mama Ginge.
I mean, obviously, we can.
She's terrifying.
We want to. I mean, rebuilding's been a process that we've been
He's done pretty
slowly
good.
doing
Yeah.
for the village, and we will continue to do that. Duard kind of looks back at Fulgar and says, "We might want to mention to the riders, whoever goes to Herdun, to let them know that those that were sent there from Heartmount for mining can make their way back home. And there's no need for them to be at the mine anymore."
And the orcs can disperse.
Yes.
And the foreign dwarves that might not belong there can go too.
Mm-hmm.
Then Fulgar kind of looks up and nods, and then continues drawing up the paperwork that he's working on. All right. Do you guys have anything else that you want to?
Do they have shops in here?
They would be very general stuff like a smith,
So would they
general
be?
store.
Would they be up to buying things?
What's that?
Would they be up to buying things?
Yes, but you're not sure. Like, it would depend on how expensive it is as you're looking, like how much money you're looking to, or what you're looking to sell. Because being up here and being as secluded as they are, they probably don't have like the resources of like Kings Harbor.
Okay, so you're saying
Wealth-wise.
they don't want to pay a lot for? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying like if you
No,
are
like,
planning on
It's
selling like a
what
bunch
you're
of-
trying to sell.
Yeah.
It's-
is
there's
too
not
much and they don't have enough to give you.
That
That's
yeah.
that's all I'm saying.
Well, and also like, depending on what it is, they may not have a market for it
That too.
because
Like,
they're
the
so
smithy-
secluded.
the
There's not going
smithy's
to be
gonna
enough
deal
people to
with-
come
Yeah.
through.
The smithy's gonna deal with stuff like making like not necessarily horseshoes, but stuff for like the goats and whatnot that they use in livestock. Like making
they
like
make goats.
nails and maybe some weapons occasionally, or like working tools. You know, the shop's gonna have stuff that maybe.
I mean,
has,
they were
like,
just
dried
in a
food
preparing
and
for
things
battle.
like that. Yeah, I mean the village here is operating pretty normally, but the occupying force here was more of like a security.
Right. So they were still the inward things were still
Yeah,
active.
yeah.
So it's still like
Unless
a regular town.
somebody that was running a shop or whatever got sent to the mine.
They call it a mine.
A mine.
I was waiting for this to come up this session.
Okay.
I was waiting for it.
Because I mean, I've been hanging on to some short bows, some gold necklaces, some helmets that we were at the bottom of the hill, and they were in my backpack of holding. I didn't know if there might be a market of a place here that would relieve me of that, so that way I can have more room to carry stuff.
I mean, you can sell some of it and see.
Okay.
How many do you have total again?
I have 3 gold necklaces. I didn't get a price because I don't know until I show it to.
Somebody
An
to
appraiser.
evaluate it.
I have 5 short bows. This is from the battle down below, and
Yeah.
I think 3 were elven, and 3 were dwarven. 10 short swords, 5 helmets,
Yeah, they're not gonna have enough to like.
5 medium
all of
shields.
that.
There would be anything they can relieve me of?
Oh yeah, yeah. They could pay for some of it.
Okay, that's.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a relief of a certain amount, so that way I have room for a future.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah, they would be able to take some of it.
Okay, so I can get that later.
Hmm?
Okay,
He's been carrying all that around for every fight.
it's been in my backpack back of holding. And there's half
Yeah,
of
I'll
one of
send
those
you-
big.
I'll send you an amount
monsters
of
we-
like they'll be able to give you up to like say like 500 gold worth or something like that, and then you can kind of
Yeah.
do
Is
the
it
math.
is
and
it
see
about 100 gold pieces to get a bigger size backpack so I can put more into more slots?
They do not have anything up here to like do empowered stuff.
Alright.
Um,
I was just doing Elder Scrolls the other day.
yeah, while you are talking and having these conversations, you hear the door open to the home, and you hear light footsteps enter in, and a familiar female voice. Well, I see that everything's kind of quieted down, and I'm glad to see that peace has finally returned to the region. And you guys turn around if your back is turned, or look on and you see Galandra standing in the room.
It's been her plan all along to take this place over.
Hey, wait, hold on. You could have gone here the whole time?
Her favorite
no,
tree.
actually,
Her
Tylus
favorite
actually gave me a portal to be able to jump up here from the forest.
It has portals?
Well, I mean,
Now he's been there.
to through a tree. You've seen it before.
Oh, okay.
I thought Fabian gave it to him.
Yeah, I was like, he has
A,
a
a
No,
peace
he,
gesture. All right, you beat me. I'll let you in.
He sent me a message and said that things had worked out, and I told him that I wished to come up and to speak with all of you. So
Oh, speech. Okay. Like
Well, in that case, it's good to see you.
yes, it was good to see all
In
of
that
you.
case.
I'm glad that peace has returned, and I'm glad. I am sorry. And she looks at Dothra and Raylog. I am sorry that it came to the end that it did. And I am sorry for your loss. I'm sure this cannot be easy. Especially with it being so close to home. And family matters, especially ones like this, often leave us scarred when we come out of it. But scars fade in time.
And more you
But
forever.
I can see that you're in the middle of something, so don't let me intrude. Carry on. And she just kind of meanders over into one of the other rooms and sits down.
Is that where there's food? Yeah. Yeah. I can't talk about it. Yes.
Galandra's here. Galandra's here. That means we can do our stone hopping with Galandra. She's right here.
Ah, yes.
Really soon. She's here.
No
true.
need to Rocky when you can talkie. Colton's like, I can't let you have coffee next session. You had one cup.
I love the Rocky Talkie. Like, Rocky Talkie is my new favorite word.
Yeah, but we're talking about different stones.
Yeah. We're talking about different stuff.
Yep. I have kidney
The
stones.
other
You might be able to.
Stones are you guys
She's
talking about?
right.
Which rock are you talking about, Sybil? Says Kara loudly. No.
The teleportation stones that she has to take her to different locations when she uses them.
Oh, the recall stones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure what she
let's-
wants to show them to go on
Yeah.
for.
We can show up here wherever we
Yeah,
want.
so if we go into Miss Fortune area, she can just sidestep and take us over to the tree here and bring us back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not today, but like.
No, but we can tell her the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When the time is right.
Absolutely.
when we want to use her. I mean, have her participate.
This joyride that she could enjoy after this stressful series of almost a week and a half now.
Do you guys have anything
Yeah.
else you want to cover with the
So-
council meeting?
With with the
Sorry, guys, you're
with the plans for like that attack and everything, were there like, I guess, who do we understand, like, who came up with that? Would that have been my uncle, or that?
Yeah, your uncle was kind of heading everything, obviously.
So does that mean the one like kind of lead orc and then like the wizard, like, did they have their own separate plans? Is there information on that?
They were using the populace of the mountains,
And that's
just
on
as an
paper.
army. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, that's not on paper,
Okay.
but it's just that's the understanding, because they weren't really sending most of the orcs into battle. It seems like Gurge was there for the surprise attack because you guys saw him,
Mm-hmm.
and there were some orcs there, but the bulk of the force that was going to be trying to take over or trying to take the Living Tree Forest was going to be the populace of the mountains. So whether Vigons, dwarves, humans, anyone that could really pick up a sword and fight and had some sort of skill.
And then did they have something to do with her village at all? Kind of what happened there with her parents and stuff?
What do you mean?
Whitestone.
Yeah.
Whetstone.
Who?
Like
Alright.
the orc or the
The
wizard.
You did not see Gurge at Whetstone, but you did see Fabian.
Okay.
Fabian was the one you guys faced off with in the courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
he also walked through
Torvine,
their house.
yeah, Torvine
Mhm.
gave the rings to
Right.
from that you guys found from
Yeah.
your encounter with the guy
Right.
doing experiments.
So
in
with
the mine.
with that in mind, like,
The connection.
could that have also been done in other places? Like,
Like
would he
him
have done that
having
to
control of
multiple?
something?
Yeah,
him
or
taking
like
control
taking
of
control
another
of like
region or
leaders with rings or like.
Oh yeah, it's possible. You don't. Yeah.
But it's not something that we know of.
I mean,
But
he
it's
did
just
it.
this
He did it
area that
in
you know
Whetstone. He didn't
personally.
do it here. He
Right.
seemed to help Kudo, but he wasn't like controlling him like
Because
mind
he didn't
control.
need to.
Yeah, because your uncle was already a warmonger,
Yeah.
and so he was going to use that for his advantage also.
Yep.
But it's not like anyone's aware of something else like that.
Nothing. Yeah. Nothing screams that something odd's going on in this city over here.
Because that was his own personal plan that wasn't necessarily
From what the
shared.
from what the Night Dwell said, it seems like when he stopped Fabian from attacking you because he did not want Fabian's actions to jeopardize plans that have been in motion.
The mask, the illusion that other things are going on that won't point to him.
Essentially, he's probably thinking if you guys were sent up here to deal with Kudo, and then you guys don't return, then it might shed more light on something, and then if people continue to investigate,
They found it deeper.
something could be found out, and then their plans might be in jeopardy, or his plans, or the plans that he was referring to.
The mob boss doesn't want to be revealed.
Right.
The more
So
attention
he said
is bad.
he told Fabian that he did not want his actions jeopardizing the plans that have been set in motion just to settle a vendetta that was a result of his own ambition. So apparently, him helping your uncle, starting this whole conflict, and then mining the ore in Herdoon and wanting to take over the Living Tree Forest apparently wasn't even part of the plan and was his own ambition for something. But you don't know what that ambition is. And none of that is laid out in the plans here. Other than you know that he wanted the Living Tree Forest to be taken for some reason, and he wanted his own, seemingly his own source of
Excuse me. So your people were pawns.
Yeah.
Right. But there's nothing that we're aware of other than just informing the villages to take
stand
care of
down.
at the moment.
Yeah, because it's for no reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that kind of covers everything.
Okay. All right. You guys are welcome to have any other conversations you wish to have. Otherwise, we can move forward a few hours to the party. Or the feast, I should say.
I was gonna say.
Okay, did you want to talk to Glandra, whatever her name is?
Gloria.
Gloria?
Kim, I think he's talking to you.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to have the conversation
Go ahead,
with
Kim.
Glandra.
What do you got for me?
Big job.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, are you gonna use that's the Rockie talkie?
No, because
She's here.
yeah.
So,
Are you gonna give it
so
back?
I'll give it
That's
back.
good.
Okay.
I'll just use that then. That sounds good.
Callbacks.
Okay, I'll give it back.
Okay.
Okay, Kimberly, were you going to talk to Glandria?
Yeah.
She said,
She said, yeah.
okay, tell her the plan you want to do with this sending stone, with the other stones. What are they called?
Go ahead and talk to her.
A
The
recall
floor is
stone.
yours.
Recall.
All stones.
Yeah.
But are you coming with? Yeah.
Yeah, when we do it.
Yeah.
Alright, we go.
The rockbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Rockbacks.
Okay.
Octoroks.
I mean, she's right there in the room, so once the council meeting is adjourned,
So she's
you can-
accessible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, yo,
Which
yo,
I would
girl.
think it would be.
Yeah, it's
Now
adjourned
we're-
at this point.
We're waiting on the papers to be drafted to
Yeah.
adjourn.
Just
Which
send the
would,
boys out.
that would finish up in like 30 minutes or so,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
be
And-
given.
Yeah, and this conversation is going to be short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Kim.
All right, Kim, what do you got for me?
Oh, hey, yeah, so on a less serious note, I have these stones that take people to places, like specific places, but I only know where one of them goes. It does happen to be next to a bunch of trees, but I have like, how many others? 4 more?
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking we could go rock hopping from place to place to place, end up next to a whole bunch of trees, and then pop up here or wherever else you wanted to sometime, kind of soonish.
Road trip?
Mm-hmm.
Going
Yeah, like
skipping
a road
rock.
trip,
Mm-hmm.
but in like 10 minutes. 10-minute around the world road trip.
No whiplash involved.
So
Yeah.
you want to teleport essentially somewhere that a stone
Will take us.
takes you.
I can pull it out. I'd be like, here, look at this.
Yes, I would be very interested to know what
She
you
can
speak
identify.
of.
She can do identify actions.
Yeah, I'll hold out. Yeah, I've got a couple
So
of these.
identify doesn't tell you where they go.
Pop, pop, pop,
It tells
pop.
you the password and stuff.
Mhm.
Okay.
I got all the passwords now. I've been working on it for the last couple of weeks.
Finally rolled low.
Okay. She takes one of them and looks at it, and it takes a few moments, but eventually there is you see, like, I say a few moments, but during that you see like her eyes flash green, and eventually there's a look of recognition in her eyes. I haven't seen one of these in, well, I can't say that I've ever seen one, but I've definitely heard about them. But I have not heard of anyone using them or having one in quite some time.
No, it's from the library.
I can't say that I've ever held one in my hands before either, but
Uh-oh.
there's no mistaking.
Yeah, I came
Reason
across
for
it pretty
that?
recently.
There's no mistaking it.
them on the beach.
Where did you find
Seagulls.
these?
I got them off a couple bodies. I mean,
Oh, in a temple while I was doing research on history.
Quite literally.
Oh, they weren't being used. No one owns them anymore.
It's like going to the library and seeing a book that's got dust on it. Ah, it's not being used.
They don't even have library cards.
Sorry. Isaac was there too.
Well, yeah.
And Derek. But Derek's Derek. Anyway.
The D-man.
Oh, you found it in the temple archives. That's,
He was being hidden,
I mean,
so it's not
that's-
stealing. It doesn't exist.
I guess I can't say that I'm surprised. Temples tend to hide all sorts of things, secrets in their archives.
Like the ark.
Well, so your plan is to go wherever these stones take you, and then, what?
And then just come back.
As long as there's a tree.
Yeah, and you get to learn new trees to
I see.
advance
Um,
your
Figure out where they go,
Mhm.
and you don't have to end up somewhere random. You can come back right here because you have the tree bit.
It is something that we can do, although I would advise.
Not like today or anything.
I was going to say I wouldn't advise doing it this evening. It probably would be best to do it during
Yeah,
the day.
not today, not today.
Yeah,
Plus,
you're busy with your
I,
people.
we're not exactly sure where these are going to pop us in at,
It's not gonna be
and we
a
don't know what we're going to be running into.
And all of the like go-to words sound very positive. I'm just gonna
So
say
you
that.
know where they
Even
supposedly
the words
lead.
sound very positive.
One of them she knows where it
I have a
goes.
theory about one of them, but the other ones are a little vague. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's something that we can
But they're all good empowerments.
pursue.
So it's
For
not
sure.
like a nasty place it takes you.
No, but
It's unknown.
Positive words.
but
Yeah.
you could be popping into a city that's like under siege. You don't know.
Well, that's rare. No one's under siege except for we just liberated a place.
I know.
So
But if you pop in somewhere,
then you pop back out. That's where we're making sure someone can do trees and someone else can do a stone.
Show up in the middle of the desert.
We're not gonna stay for
middle of the desert.
Then
I thought you said it was a nice place.
Then she'll
Where's
use the
the tree?
stone that takes her to the place she knows.
The middle of
We have one
I need an
place.
oasis.
We have one place we know where it takes us. So there was always have a fail safe to go back to that one place.
That's true. That's true.
100%.
Oh, phooey.
Yeah. We need to have level heads when we talk.
It's
Anyway.
clearly
Yes.
a semi-thought through plan.
Okay. Yes, that is something that we can do.
I thought
Cool.
so. That's about right.
Delandra has been reduced to a glorified taxi.
No, fail safe.
It's for fun. We're doing it as a
She
bonding
wearing yellow.
experience.
Well, little.
There's a little yellow in the
Little hash
leaves.
marks.
The leaves are starting to go brown.
Oh no.
She needs to be by the living water.
There's a connection. There's always a connection.
Okay.
All right.
Well, good. We wanted to put that shot across the bow to her so that way she understood the situation. Because we can always contact her and set up a time.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can be that voice in her head.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk to Calandra about?
You know how many people they transport?
Still don't know where the Titan is in the woods, though.
It's just like
right?
teleport. It's like 6.
Still don't know about that.
Still don't know the Titan, where the Titan is in the woods.
No, does she know?
Just double checking.
Can you say that again? It wasn't quite grasped.
Okay.
What's your question?
You are still unaware of a Titan in the Living Tree Forest, correct?
A Titan in the living tree forest. Are
She
you aware
gives
of it?
you like a very like raised eyebrow at you.
I haven't heard that in years.
Just looking for one. That's all.
They didn't win the Super Bowl.
You can.
What is my boyfriend?
Secret.
Either.
As in, okay, thanks.
Trying to think of how to have you roll for this.
How can I hide this from you?
Pick up one of each die and roll.
Well, normally it would be like a perception check, but I'm trying to see.
Let's do an intelligence check and be done with it.
Well, it's more. I don't want to do like a chance to understand situation because it's.
You want to do like 2 checks in intelligence and wisdom or something?
Well, you can. You can just put it at a. It has to be a great success or a major success. If you want to reveal information. If you don't, then just do, a 2 check. One for perception and then one for intelligence.
Yeah, just let's do.
Oh no, I have to roll for it.
No!
Wisdom, which is
You made
insight.
yourself have more
Wisdom, insight.
Wisdom?
Yep, insight check.
For a minute, I thought you were going back and forth on that.
Can someone aid her?
I will say that she gets advantage because of her morbus, her brutum morbus.
So is that 2?
Yes.
The morbus of the brutum.
10. So we'll say I rolled an 8 out of 16.
Okay. You notice sweat begin to form just a little bit on her forehead, and she gets a little nervous when you mention like something she wasn't expecting when you mention about a Titan in the Living Tree Forest. forest.
You should expect anything from us. We just did rocks that send people places.
No, it's not like
The topic.
it's
I know.
not. It's not like she's nervous, like afraid. It's more of like shock and like
Where'd this come from?
yeah, like
Oh.
where did this come
That
from?
kind of goes back to my point. Yeah. Okay. Well, her response is obviously she knows something because
Then
the
she
way
just- Gave you a raised eyebrow, but that's more of what you pick up, and like you can gather like
She gave me
scent
this
wise, you can start to smell like a little bit of BO smell starting to come off just from her starting to sweat.
It's a lie detector test.
Essentially, yes,
Okay.
because she has more of a sensitive nose.
Cool. Yeah, no, the name I asked you about earlier that you said you hadn't heard, I was pretty sure that belongs to a titan, I think. Let me roll back through my notes really quick.
She has them in her phone. Next generation. I'm glad I didn't roll that. That wouldn't have got us here. Whew. Stay away. It's fine.
Remember Asthiel? Asthiel.
She just kind of looks at you. She doesn't really give a response. She just continues to look at you with a raised eyebrow.
Why are they always like that? They're not forthcoming or anything. They're always tight-lipped.
One of his friends, and he's really struggling with his memory, but he thought he remembered this guy, and he was hoping that, well, I was hoping that if I could find his friend for him, that he might be able to remember, or that his friend could help him remember a bit more. You just look either confused or like you're, well, I kind of like look around cautiously, like you're hiding something.
Why don't you just tell him it's the dragon?
She quietly speaks to you. Please understand, as the High Speaker for the Great Tree, I have a great many responsibilities and a great burden as well. And as being the High Speaker, I am knowledgeable of a great many things, and certain things I have to be very careful on the information that I divulge.
No, that's totally fair. There are lots of people that have secrets for lots of good reasons. I gotta like gesture to my sword. You know anything about this sword specifically?
She takes a glance at it and kind of shakes her head and no.
Okay. It's kind of alive. You know that sounds weird?
She raises the other eyebrow.
Our eyes are open.
Yeah. It sounds weird, but it's true. It's got a living entity in it from a really long time ago. And he doesn't remember his name, so we just call him Dragon. As he's a dragon.
She kind of bows her head a little bit and like puts her hand to her chin and does like a posture of like thinking and pondering, and then looks back up at you and says, I can't give you any answers now, but give me some time. I will get back to you on this matter.
Yeah, maybe on our trip.
There you go.
Possibly.
Well, anyway, there's a party happening tonight. Stick around.
Alright. Is there anything else, any other conversations?
No, I would just go to the stores and see what I could sell.
Okay. I will give you that number later on how much you can
It's fine.
how much is available for you to
Yep.
sell and whatnot. Okay, I mainly want to get to this point.
You know,
So
I think they're
during
closer.
the feast, there's music and dancing, and just a good time is had by all. During the festivities, Durik comes to you along with Torgar and kind of pull you to the side. And they both have a large pouch in their hand. And they sit down at a table and say, so after the attack took place that night when you and your sister fled, and after the second attack, we both knew that something was amiss and something in your uncle couldn't be trusted. So we kept these for safekeeping. And he reaches into one of the pouches and pulls out a hammer that has a blue icy end on both ends, and then has a hole at the center of where the center of the hammer would be, or where you would apply it to hitting something. There's a hole at the center.
Okay.
But around that hole, for that whole part where you would be hitting something with it, it has like an icy, like frosty look to it on both ends. And it's a double-sided hammer. And then Torgar reaches in his and pulls out an axe that is essentially a hand axe or a hatchet. And it has like a frosty edge to it. These were your parents. The hammer was your father's, and the axe was your mother's. And I think that they would want you to have these. And we didn't know if you and your sister were alive, but now that we know that you're alive and things have settled down, we think that you should have these.
Thank you.
Torgar also reaches in a pocket and hands you a ring as well, and says, this is from Fulgar. Friend of his in Hordun gave it to him. But he never gave up hope that you and your sister were alive. And this ring helped him to never give up hope. There was always something that brought hope to him and to his heart. Now that hope has returned and that you and your sister have returned, he feels that you should have it. So you can do with it what you will. You get these 3 things.
You can give me the armor back.
Or pass it along. Spread the wealth.
Question. Would you guys be planning on going back to the Living Tree Forest at all?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that place.
For sure.
Yeah, we like that.
We are not
Like
finished with
immediately
figuring things
soon,
out.
or
Yeah, because there was some herbs and stuff that I asked them earlier to dig up for me to help make healing potions. And
Okay.
stuff.
Do we have
Otherwise,
to-
I will give that stuff to you guys when you go down to.
Do we have to go there as a result of Sybil taking care of her Morbus?
The Morbus Brutum.
Yes, she wants to hang around. We know.
Besides that, as the night grows late or later, Sybil comes and finds each of you and asks you if you have seen Dothra. And you,
The daisy.
each of you, even if you did rolls, would remember seeing her throughout the party, but it's been a good, I don't know, half an hour or so since you've seen her last.
And she has this secret stone she likes to go up to from time to time, and she wanted to reflect
Is that
on
the
life.
thinking
Maybe
rock?
she might went back to her special place.
But Sybil eventually comes up to you last and asks, and then says that she's going to go and try to find her and make sure that everything's okay. So
Sounds like a good choice to me.
So you're saying Sybil wants to go find Dothra?
yes, that was the whole conversation that I had with her earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I can give you the basic rundown of that now that we're actually recording
'Cause,
and
like,
whatnot.
How long has it been since?
This is
Well,
like
with
several
us.
hours into the party,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
into the feast.
Mm-hmm.
I say feast, but it's more like a feast party type
Right.
deal.
So it's
Celebration.
night. It's
Yes.
probably dark.
And the night is partly cloudy. It's not completely like cloud cover like it was when you guys, the first night that you guys were
Right.
up here. Um, why do I have just an empty thing? Anyway, essentially, Dothra is found in the clearing. She went out there because she needed somewhere quiet to process everything that's been
There
going
you go.
on. She needed to process everything, and now that everything seems to be over, she was also dealing with the fact of all the people that were lost in the attack when Raylog and her ran from home, along with those that were lost standing up against her uncle when the truth was revealed on what he had done, and then those that died on the attacks on the front lines.
The loss.
All those people, her people, Raylog's people that have been lost. All because of a choice that her uncle made. And also dealing with what it means now that her uncle and this has been dealt with. That has been Raylog and her's mission ever since they left their home, and now that it is over, she doesn't know what's next. She lost her father, lost her mother, and she misses them very much. And the only family she had left was her brother, and now she has formed essentially a new family with kindred. And now, after such a short time of forming that family, now it seems like someone is going to have to stay behind, or that she's going to be losing that family again. So she's going through that. She's also dealing with the fact of her uncle would go as far as killing his own brother to achieve what he wanted, and that he would go so far to do it.
He killed Dad.
Just because he didn't agree with the peace that was taking place, or that was there. And then lastly, dealing with the feelings of her and Raylog being the only surviving members of their family. So she's going through a lot and needed to get away to process. Sybil shows up and comforts her and basically says, look, I'm here. If you need me, if you need someone to talk to,
Counselor 101.
you're not alone.
Mhm.
You know, I'm sure Galandra and the Living Tree Forest would be more than willing to help. You know, if you need defenses, if you need help rebuilding, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to help rebuild. Obviously, wounds will heal in time, but it's going to take time. But, you know, she just wanted to comfort her. During or near the end of the conversation, and when they were getting ready to head back, the cloud cover moved away from the moon, and the moon beam showed down on the clearing. And at this point, her and Dothra, or Sybil, noticed that there were flowers that seem to glow. A soft white glow seeming to mimic the moonlight shining down on it. Sybil wasn't sure what the flower was. She did do detect empowerment, and it was giving off a green aura. She asked Dother if she was alright with her taking some, and Dother said it was fine, and she took some of the flowers with her. It was also the same flowers that Sybil drew in her notebook, and it was also the ones that were very strange and stuck out to all of you when you were staying there and when you first were in the clearing, but had no idea what the flowers were. It's the same flowers. So that's what transpires away from the party. But eventually they both agree that it's probably best that they go back. Otherwise, if both of them are gone for too long, people might send out a search party and be worried about them. So
Oh, was that Wolfsbane or was that the other?
Broodumsbane.
Broodumsbane, yeah.
So that's what happened away
Okay.
during that. But I wanted to see what if Sybil wanted to actually pursue it or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure this would all come to light. So
Okay.
but I didn't want to spoil
Right.
story-wise ahead of the time.
And Sybil would share that with us because it's a big thing for her to get the right stuff in order to cure herself.
But it is going on 5:30, so we will end it there and pick up. Does anybody have any conversations they want to have during the feast to anybody? Durik would also mention to you when he gives you the weapons and whatnot that they sent riders out and that they are on their way. So that would be
Well,
what
did
they do.
Did they need me to do something with it?
No, I mean they would have got your mark
okay.
and whatnot
Yeah.
earlier. He just wanted to let you know that riders were sent out
Okay.
and whatnot, and that is in process. So, but,
Tara's just eager to get back to the forest.
if you guys have any conversations that you want to have, let me know. That way I can kind of have an idea of where your thoughts are at, or I know you guys probably want to go to the Living Tree Forest as well. So,
Okay. I was gonna say, for us to go around and helping people out and going all that, we get a morality note.
yes, everybody will get a morality notable as well for this.
Okay.
Yep.
Did we go up a
Alright.
level?